Today, we're going to craft up winners for Friday night, go over the college football and NFL weekend preview, and let's cash another squad ride. This is Behind the Lines. We're beating Vandy, by the way. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You guys want to buy this jersey? I just got it. Wore it one time down at Chapel Bill. Fucking done.
The only win seen in that jersey is by the Frogs. That's unbelievable.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week, episode 770 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you are not tracking your bets on Bookit, how many times do I have to say it? Could not be a more fire app to track your bets. It automatically syncs your bets with your books. That way you can't just go in and manually add bets and make up bets. You don't have a choice. It's the most transparent app out there by far. It literally tracks your bets for you once you lock them in the books. Get involved. Start using Bookit so you can be transparent and not using these other apps where you can just make shit up. Get involved. Use promo code Bookit, WPookit, WBTL, W Jovan, W Battleberg for Jovan, and most importantly, W Squad Ride. Let's fucking go.
Take the floor, Krabs. Take the floor.
Let's fucking go. You think you can make money betting on the Bills laying 12.5 points against the shittiest team in the NFL that has no locker room chemistry, that has a coach about to get fired who might be high on the sidelines, that has a QB who can't fucking move and has one hip and throws a pick every game? If you bet like that, you are going to lose all of your money. If you want to make coins, if you want to make money, if you want to get better, smarter, if you want to hit bets, you watch BTL, you tail the squad rides, and you fucking trust. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Meat on tape. Dolphins were never not covering that game. Ever. If you bet the Bills last night, take a long look in the mirror because you are a shitty bettor. And we're here to fucking win and get smarter. And you can't be taking bets like that. If it looks too easy, it is too easy. Nothing in life that's good is too easy. Everything good in life, you have to fucking earn it. And it's got to be hard. Just like the Dolphins on the spread. If you think you can wake up and take the Bills laying 12.5 points, the best team in the NFL versus the worst team in the NFL, and make money, you are severely mistaken. Change the mindset. Bet nasty. Take underdogs. Take unders. Maybe not in college football last night, but take unders in general and make coins. You should never feel comfortable placing a bet, Jovan. And those Bills bettors were taking a nap all day. They could not have been more fat, happy, and complacent.
Complacent.
Too easy.
We got so many subbies. I can't even see them.
Wow. First off, the Gen Raid coming in hot. Coming in hot. Love to see it. Love to see it. The Gen, appreciate you bringing the boys over. A bunch of subbies coming in here, Jovan, and a hype train moving and grooving. Level 4. Love to see it. We got Nelly now coming in, dropping a 5-unit sub whale. We got TCU fan coming in, dropping a resub. WFins, WTCU fan, big weekend for you. Big weekend for you. I'll give you the 3-nuck frog here. Big time.
3-nuck.
Big time. Not a lot of people know about the 3-nuck frog.
You know about like all the Texas schools have hand signs, and SMU's is literally it's the frog, but like slightly further out.
Hate that.
There's gonna be a lot of 2 fingers this weekend.
Well, go ahead and give me the 3-finger. People sleep on that one. We got Esto coming in, dropping a resub as well. We got Sade Whiteman coming in every single day. Sade's doing his part. Sade's doing his job. He comes in here every day, Jovan, and supports the boys. We never sell our picks. We never ask for subs, but we'll take them, and we appreciate the support. It means more. Coming in here, giving out subs, it shows us you give a hoot. You're blessing up the chat. You are a team player. W Sade. Sade is the definition of a team player. This is why I named my 2K character after Sade. Glue guy, team player. That's what I'm fucking talking about, my man. The GOAT of the community, man. Team player. We got G Fernandez coming in. Dolphins, bang. We got C Bernat coming in. Let's go. BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week. Let's fucking go, dudes. We got the Cowboys coming in, resubbing. and a first-time chatter the Cowboys, 888. That's a goat. That's a goat. We appreciate all the resubs. YouTube chat, let me hear you scream. We got Doc, we got Carl, we got Kayla, we got Team Comeback, we got Yo, What's Up A, we got my goat Andrew, always holding it down in the YouTube. Team Comeback as well. You guys are goated. Spoon Daddy, what's up, Beast? We got Swoller Bear coming in, dropping a 10-unit whale. A 10-unit whale. Come on. Come on.
Heart.
Let's fucking go. We got Sade coming in, dropping another 5-unit whale. He says, hold my beer. Hold my beer, Swoller Bear.
Literally held.
Going band for band, Jovan. Band for bands. Come on.
Vibes are up.
Come on.
Up.
Let's go, Trice Picks. Let's get some winners today. Why not us? Why not us? Guys, I'm going to say it again, and then we're going to move on. First off, side note, BTL Fridays are goated. I cannot wait for today's show. I cannot wait for today's show. We got to keep moving and grooving here soon because we got a lot to get to today, and we have a live recording of the coin toss, which is so goated at 2 p.m. Eastern. So, guys, I want you all to make coins. There's nothing more I want in my life. Oh, my God.
Another 10 from Swoller Bear.
Another 10-unit whale. Come on.
And 96 with his tier 1 for 30-monthers right on top.
Seasoned veteran. Big Baller coming in with a 5-unit whale. Big Baller, you're goated. Swoller Bear, you're goated. 96, you're goated. Sade, you're goated. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Somebody tailed the fucking Dolphins last night. Dolphins should have won that game outright if that dumbass didn't get a roughing the kicker, roughing the punter, excuse me. The Dolphins are going down there in a tie game, winning that game, or at least taking a lead. If you disagree, you don't know ball. You could feel it. You could feel it. Tyreek Hill went off last night. Your guy Jalen Waddle showed up as well. Besides that pick from Tua, it sucks that Tua has to be perfect for them to win games. That shouldn't be the case. That's how bad their team is. But it's true. But it's true. You guys are goated. Thank you so much for all the subbies. Let's fucking go. Let's bring the energy today. I'm going to say it one more time, and then we're going to move on to the recaps here real quick. Guys, I want you all to make coins. I want you all to get smarter, get better every day. I want to put money in your pockets. I want us all to win together. There's nothing else I want more in life than us all to win together. I want to make you guys smarter, sharper. I want to put money in your fucking pockets. We're in this shit together. Okay, I'm going to reiterate it one more time. You can't lay the Bills minus 12.5 and expect to hit bets. If that's the type of bet you place, look in a mirror, change the mindset, and climb aboard. We got plenty of room on the BTL train. Lock in. Try to think a little differently this weekend. Just trust. Just trust.
To all Bills bettors that were chirping in chat yesterday, just use this as you're sitting in your piss listening to Krabs, just absolutely splurging. You better be confident if you're chirping Krabs me on table plays, because you will come out.
Especially for football.
You will come out and bust like this every time you do it.
You lose that battle 9 times out of 10. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. What about Kincaid? Let's go ahead and recap from yesterday. Yep, did not go perfect. Nobody's perfect, but I'm better than you guys. That's for sure. 3-2 from me. Jovan, 4-1. 4-1. That's what I'm fucking talking about, Jovan. Stay hot.
Huge. Would have been.
Stay hot.
Yeah, I think by the time the pass yards were on BTL, that was lower, so you got there. But he ended at 87, which was piss for some of the lineups.
No shot.
Yeah, it was nuts.
No shot. No shot.
Yeah.
3-0 squad ride options yesterday. WP Dub. Love the positive chats in the fucking Twitch. Love to see it. And in the YouTube. Krabs Day. Vibes are immaculate. W. Andrew. Brick Wall. Let me hear you say. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. And yeah, knock on wood, Jovan is fucking dialed. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. Yeah. Yeah. If you're hating today, you are in the wrong place, and you are in the wrong. WG Fernandez coming in, dropping 100 biddies. 2 is a fucking bozo. You're not wrong about that. Although he played pretty fucking good besides that one pick. It sucks he has to be perfect for that, excuse me, for that team to win games. It's should not be the case, right? He needs some support. He needs some help. You see Tyreek Hill do those cartwheels and backflips in the end zone last night. That was insane.
Cartwheels and backflips.
I will say W transparency, W accountability. The Dalton Kincaid fade was terrible. Terrible fade. It felt like he had 10 catches. He only had 5, but still, just a terrible square. A terrible square. We're not perfect. We're not perfect, but we're going to work our butts off to get you guys winners, and we're going to win more than we lose. Those are 2 things I know. And if you're against us on that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Ollie Gordon first tutty from Mikey Overs was pure cinema. I cannot believe he hit that. Good for him. Good for him. Ollie Gordon looked fucking good last night.
He did.
He looked fucking good. Yeah.
Especially
we got Kayla Hall coming in, dropping a follow.
Wide receiver 1. Somebody's got to run rock.
I mean, yeah. You need to give A-Chain a fucking break. The guy's legs are going to explode.
Yeah.
Right? That's huge. Huge change of pace back. Although the other direction, usually it's the opposite. But for the Dolphins, they love their speedy backs. They finally have a little bit of a bruiser. That's their change of pace back. All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving and grooving. We have a lot to get to today. No steamed crabs. No need. Let's stay hot. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's all win together. Let's stay positive. And let's fucking cash today. We got Sade Lightman coming in with another
keeping the hype train alive at the
unit sub whale. At the buzzer. Bang. Like me hitting fucking layups all yesterday. I think I took 100 layups last night.
Krabs, you gotta get some work in with the right.
Well, yeah, I gotta get some work in with the right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We're acting like, I'm going to have wide open layups during this fucking 1v1. That's just not the case. It's not going to matter, but
you might have to switch hands and get creative and crafty around the lane.
You're not wrong. Man. People are calling me Jaylen Brown. I can only go to the left. Yep. Can only go left. It is what it is. Are you dialed, Krabs? There's a bear shit in the woods, OG Sour. Jeez. We got one shot coming in, dropping a 5-unit sub whale.
Goat.
And Trent's getting out of bed right now. Making excuses, saying he's playing 2K too long last night. How old are you, bro? Do your show.
We were playing 2K pretty late. It was till like 3 a.m. And you know what he did?
Set your alarms and wake up and be a little tired. Get a coffee on the way to fucking work. What are we doing?
You know what he did? And shout out Total Slayer for another 5.
Total Slayer.
We were playing with Snell, and last game he graded out.
Okay.
Graded out. Okay. Like 2 for 14. Snell was pissed.
I mean, yeah, as he should be. Hold him accountable.
Literally screaming at him the entire game.
Okay. I'd literally pay to hear that.
Yeah.
I'd literally pay to hear that.
It was all time.
Wait, but you were playing with them that late, and you're here, and you're about to do back-to-back streams.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here, and you're locked in, and you're grinding, and it shows. And I appreciate it. I really do. Let's stay hot. Total Slayer, one-shot phenom Sade. You guys are goated. OT Logan, that one squeaked. We cannot forget about OT Logan and Big Baller coming in. Swoller Bear with all these subbies. And again, Sade, we do it all for you. All right, let's move. Let's groove. Let's get into the sharp report for today. W tempo, W pace. Let's talk about some winners for tonight. Everybody thinks I'm going to be on Tulsa. Changing it up a little bit here. I think it might be a little too sharp. I'm not talking triple reverse here. You won't see me on OK State, but you can't see me on Tulsa after OK State just got their fucking lunch money stolen from Oregon in their last game, respectfully. So how about another 5-unit whale coming in from Waka? Let's go Waka. Attaboy.
Michael Waka.
Attaboy. Is that a hype train level 10 I see? Is that a double-digit hype train?
Trent wiping crusties out, and we've got level 10 in BTL. You would never.
Level 10 hype train in BTL, and Trent's going to buy a dress right now and just got out of bed. We are not the same. And I'm going to hold him accountable. I will. I'm going to hold him accountable. Yep. Hype train level 10. You guys are so fucking goated. Who's going to keep that puppy alive? Come on. Let's fucking go. All right. I'm taking a nasty, nasty under. Jovan, this is a crabby play. You can make an argument that Tulsa's a crabby play as well. They're down from 14.5 to 9.5. I feel like I kind of missed the boat. If you could tell me I could have the 14.5 right now, I'd probably take it. But I'm at the point where even I, who doesn't give a fuck about CLV, I'm like, all right, this is getting fucking ridiculous. And I've seen a lot of Tulsa on the feed from sharps and from squares. So that scares me. I'm not saying I'm triple reversing it and taking OK State. That I'm not going to do. I think they might just be that bad. But after looking at the prize pick squares for this game, after looking at the total dropping, which I thought was super weird, this total should be moving in one direction, and that's up. after the last games both these teams played in, Jovan. Tulsa just gave up 42 to Navy. Looks like they can't stop a parked car. It's like watching Bradley Beal play defense. It's terrible. OK State just gave up 69 points to Oregon in just a destruction of a game. Destruction. And the total in this game is dropping? The fuck is good with that? I don't know, and I want in. And if you go look at some of the squares in this game, you'll see the Tulsa QB up for a sketchy one. You'll see their RB up for a sketchy square. And although it looks like OK State might have put up a couple points, I mean, we got 54 points to work with here, and they better put up a couple touchdowns. They're playing against Tulsa. So I'll take the nasty under in this game on ESPN. I don't have a great read in the Iowa-Rutgers game. I'm excited to hear your sell job in that one. But let me get the nasty under after losing the Battle of Berg last night between two teams that on paper can't stop a parked car. They're coming off of two of the freest overs of all time. System play. Let's take the nasty under when the lights are bright. This is Tulsa's Super Bowl. Primetime game. Lights are bright on a Friday night. Everybody's watching. That tells me screams under. And OK State's bad. But their defense might show up and do something, and they're going to keep their foot on the gas the entire game. So give me the under in this one. Total's dropping to 54.5. Already locked it in.
Let's go.
Already locked it in.
Shout out Hoosier Daddy with 5 gifted. It's a
Great
WBTL
call.
Trent Soft.
Great call.
Great message.
Great call and great comment.
Great message.
Jovan's here right now he's about to do a double shift here.
Double shift.
And then we got to craft up the weekend plays. Fridays are a lot of work for the BTL boys. Would not have it any other way. I fucking love BTL Fridays, and I just love Fridays in general, getting all the plays ready for the weekends. I love it.
Yeah. Get your
I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's fucking go. All right, swinging around. I want to see what Jovan's on today. Take me to some baseball.
Take you to some baseball. Speaking of Snell, the last game the Phillies team played was getting absolutely embarrassed and bageled by Blake Snell, which was their, I guess, second hangover game. The first one, they actually ended up coming through with some runs off the bullpen, and I guess they got a couple early, but weird series there against the Dodgers where you clinch the playoffs, and now you're in a weird spot where, like, what do you do? What are you trying to go for right now? You're still fighting for seeding, so, like, you're still playing for something. It's not like you're playing for absolutely nothing. But today, you get a high-scoring game, or at least a high-total game, with Taijuan Walker versus Ryan Nelson. I think Ryan Nelson's going to get tapped up, and the prize pick squares, I guess, on both sides. I'm sure you'll touch on that with the first 5, but they certainly elude themselves to a lot of Phillies bats and not so much D-backs bats. But I think the matchup is golden for the Phillies, which have been – their strikeout rate's been decreasing over the past month or so, which is huge, and I've seen that a lot on the feed with under strikeouts. We'll see how that plays out. But Ryan Nelson throws 60-65% fastballs. The Phillies, when you give them like a simple approach, they can hit that very, very well, especially from the right-handed side of pitching, I guess, left-handed side of the plate too, with some of their lefties in there that have the best matchup. But I think they absolutely go in and splooge, because the series since the playoffs has always meant a little more when they go to play the D-backs. And now I think they start to get hot going into the playoffs, their bats especially, after they've been pretty inconsistent over the past month or so.
I'm so in. Love the Phillies bats in this game. Love a couple weird squares in this game. I think you're on to something here, Jovan. Back in the Phillies bats to put up a 5 spot. And whatever you're doing with these team totals, knock on wood, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Okay?
Been working.
Been working. Been working. Stay hot. W Hype Train. We'll take a level 10 to get the day started. We'll take a level 10. Appreciate you guys. You guys are goated. Let me open up this Hype Train, whatever the fuck that means. Looks like we got an I am clap emote. Okay. Cool.
Let's go.
Cool. Hell yeah. I just put it in the chat. Look at that thing. I've never seen that before in my life. I am clap. Sure. 72 subs today, Pega, huh? So goated. Who's going to get us to 100 today by the end of the show? So goated. All right. Swinging around, Gootsy. W sell job on the Phillies. We'll come back to that in a moment. Favorite play of the day tonight. Guys, look, I love making coins. I love making coins more than I love just making sure I have bets in primetime games. And I do have a football play for you, but I want to make it on record here. I want to make it known. I love this first 5 under. I love this first 5 under. If you go look at 2 of the starting pitcher squares in this game, you'll see Jansen Junk, who's fucking terrible, Jovan. Absolutely terrible. Jansen Junk is up for 2.5 earned runs allowed. Completely greened out chart. He has been atrocious. But luckily, the Rangers' bats are atrocious, just in general. And they're dead. They've given up. They are absolutely toast. They're waiting for the season to end here. And I just don't think they're going to do it. They're fumbling. They've lost 4 in a row here. I think they're toast. I think they're dead. I think they're too tight up there at the dish. They got the tight butthole syndrome going right now. and that's not a good thing to have as a hitter in baseball. So, again, this park produces unders as well. The total in this game dropped from 8.5 to 8, Jovan, which I thought was kind of weird. And again, don't let the Marlins get hot. Nobody's talking about it again, but they're playing good ball once again. They've won 4 of their last 5. They're trying to play spoiler at the end of the season here. They're scoring runs right now. They're coming off a series. Sure, it was in Coors, so you get a little handout there, but 9, 8, and 6 runs in their last 3 games. Then they leave Coors. Love fading the bats after leaving Coors because it's like a fucking cheat code playing out there. It's a life hack. They got to go to one of the most underproducing parks in baseball down there in Arlington. So sounds like the Marlins, we want to sell high on their offense here. I want to buy low on Jansen Junk, who has that crazy earned runs allowed square, and Maley, who has not pitched a ton this season, but if you look at his last 2 starts, he's given up 4 runs in each of those 2 starts. He doesn't even have a 2.5 earned runs allowed square, Jovan. He has a 1.5 earned runs allowed square, which stuck out to me and was very green as well against the Marlins, who are hitting the ball right now. Rangers are not hitting the ball right now. They've lost 4 in a row. They are absolutely in a tailspin right now. Fade the bats in this game early. Keep the bullpens out of it. Love the total dropping. And give me the first 5 under 4.5.
Yeah, I'm in. I assume he's going to be on some sort of limit. Maley is. This is like first start back in like 3 months.
Probably.
So the fact that he's facing a team coming out of Coors is great. I'm in on that.
Yeah. W first 5 under there. All right, swinging around. W Kalaholic coming in, dropping some biddies. You're him?
Let's go. Iowa on the road, short favorite at Rutgers. Rutgers has been we've had 2 games against like softballs the last couple games, but I think most of us remember the infamous team total over against Ohio in that game where they just forgot how to score. A lot of the frustration of that, especially with Ohio coming back in that game, was the fact that they just ran the ball down their throat. And if you look at some of the numbers, which is shocking, and if you know Rutgers and Greg Schiano, that whole regime, it's very different this year. They don't stop the run, which is very uncharacteristic of both a Rutgers team and a Schiano team. Ohio is a little different because they have Parker Navarro, but both Navarro and Bangor ran over them. And even in like dominant wins over Miami, Ohio, and even like Norfolk State, they were dominating on the run against them somewhat too. And a lot of it was before contact. So like they were a lot of Bonnies in the middle of that line that they're running through. And if you're going to do that against Iowa, especially because the Gronowski experiment, as far as passing the ball, we did the same thing that we've done every year with Iowa, saying their quarterback can throw. They finally have somebody. They don't. They run the ball. They have a bunch of running backs that can do it, even though they're probably going to be shorthanded with one tonight. I think they're going to run all over this Rutgers defense. That is not only bad against the run, but it's not physical right now. The defensive line has not shown any sort of promise, any sort of push. So if you're going to do that against Iowa, it doesn't matter whether you're in Kinnick or not. That's going to be a doomsday scenario, which is probably why Iowa's favored on the road here. So I'm taking them.
Okay. JD5 officially out. Guys, we kind of knew that already, but I appreciate the tidbits and nugs. And yeah, he didn't practice today, so that sucks. Good thing we got Marcus Mariota in a revenge game.
Yeah, you'll forget.
Nobody's talking about that. All right. Yeah, I'm scared. But yeah, we knew it was coming. My buddies in the group chat, the DC group chat, are freaking out right now. I'm going to put that on mute. And Wemby out for the year. No way, Kyle.
Let's go.
No shots. I don't know why I still like that joke. Okay. Jovan, look, man, you know I'm a Rutgers guy. Rutgers. I was high on them this season. I'm on their win total over. I kind of like Kalkiamanis. And remember, you were like, you like him? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he's having a great year so far. But again, he's played against janitors and DoorDash drivers.
Yeah.
So you got to take it for a grain of salt here. And it's probably a good sign, although I keep going back and forth. This game has my brain in a blender. Probably a good sign. Iowa's a favorite, even though, I keep going back and forth. Maybe they should be a favorite against, this is still Rutgers we're talking about here, but Rutgers is undefeated. So if you're just looking at this season and you're looking at this Gronowski kid who can't fucking throw the football, I'd say it is a great sign to see Iowa as a favorite on the road here in this spot. If you're looking at just programs in the past couple decades, it's not weird that Iowa's a favorite in this spot. Rutgers is dog shit. So I have some conflicting thoughts. I trust your gut. I love your sell job. And you're still backing, a shitty quarterback to beat an undefeated squads at home. So I like where your head's at, and I like the play.
Let's go.
I do. All right. Magic Lettuce W coming in, resubbing. Happy Friday. You're goated. Ken Bands, I did see those VT helmets. That's the most positive comment I've seen from Ken Bands in my entire life. Can we clap it up for Ken Bands? Holy shit. Holy shit, Ken Bands. Attaboy. Attaboy. Yes, I did see those VT helmets. They might cover after seeing those puppies. Jovan, you get eyes on those?
I got eyes. Doing it for America.
Looking sharp. Hokies are very patriotic. Yes. W's.
New
It
hell
is
of
still technically a
Milwaukee,
revenge game, Nerfy Chad. Technically it is. Daniel's out. Yep. And Wemby out for the season. All right. Let's lock in. Like Zach's saying in the YouTube. Lol, I guess Gronowski can't throw. I mean, he can't.
He cannot throw.
But he'll
If
find
you're
a way to
telling
win this
yourself
game.
otherwise, you have not watched him play, or you are delusional.
Luckily, Rutgers has the 83rd best rush defense in college football. They have a lot of boatload of yards. They're around the likes of Ball State and UNLV and Akron are teams that are around them in the rankings for rushing yards given up per game. So good thing this kid's good with his legs, and good thing Iowa's historically been a great rushing team, and their O-line should find some success here. Yeah, I do think they'll have some success, and I think this QB will have a good day on the ground. Okay. Krabs W on telling me to start Waddle a solid 15. I give Jovan the credit there. That's Jovan's guy. Nothing like seeing Waddle hit the Penguin celly. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Best celly in the game.
Shout out. I was not expecting. I mean, it's been a couple weeks, obviously, but the touchdown increase is huge. See, I mean, didn't have huge yardage, but he's getting touchdowns.
Luckily, he got fed on that last drive, and he had that tutty. It saved us.
Yeah, that
great fucking call.
That and the Pats game, just massive touchdowns for owners.
Yep, massive. Now, Keon Coleman, on the other hand, we might have been off on him. He had a bad drop again.
A little bit,
again.
yeah.
I'm at the point where I just know the Bills don't give a fuck who's on that team playing wide receiver, and they're just going to throw the ball to whoever, and they have 10 guys. They can throw the rock to.
Tyrell Shavers, 2 catches.
Shavers. I was watching the game last night. I literally look over to my girl. I go, who the fuck is Shavers? Who's Shavers?
Taking fucking Josh Palmer. We got Shavers out catching him.
Who is Shavers? Who is that guy? And he's out there having a career day instead of Palmer. They're just going to spread the wealth, guys. I think I'm done with the Bills' weapons. Or they might just go to Kincaid every game. Kincaid might be Gronk. No, he'll come back down to earth. All right, let's move. Let's groove. I want to hear my turn here. Phillies, first 5 plus a half. We'll have to talk about this one, which play we like better. I certainly like some runs from the Phillies in this game, but I also like them to win the first 5 here, which is around minus 110, minus 115, depends on where you're looking, and you can get the plus a half, which is huge as well. And I'll take my chances here in the first 5 with the Phillies. When you got that crazy Taiwan Walker earn runs allowed square up there on Prize Picks, you've got that Ryan Nelson one, which is the opposite, completely red. He's going to give up a couple here in this spot. And again, Taiwan Walker is known as being one of the worst pitchers in baseball, massive turkey tosser, but knock on wood, he's actually been a little bit better overall this season than he has been in the last couple of years. Now, he hasn't been good of late. That's why he has that weird green square up there on Prize Picks. Could be a good time to buy low on Mr. Taiwan Walker. And it was a good sign seeing the Phillies open up minus 105 in this spot. I know they've moved to a dog now. Of course they've moved to a dog. People on paper are looking at this game saying the Phillies already clinched the playoffs. Arizona is still playing for their life right now. Could be a perfect time to sell on Arizona here in this spot. With all the pressure on them, Phillies got no pressure. That's the kind of team I like to bet on. And they're coming off a Shug's bagel. The Phillies are as well, where they got shut out 5-0 in that last Dodgers game. Before that, they were still on fuego. Let's fade Arizona here early and back Taiwan Walker, which is nasty. I know. He's due for a good start, though. And go look at that earn runs allowed square if you guys disagree. Okay, it's not as easy as clicking that more than. So let's just hope Brian Nelson also comes through with that weird square, and the Phillies put up some runs early and often.
Yep, would be absolutely massive.
Colts. Look, I like Kershaw, but you will not see me backing Kershaw in a game that matters. Not in the postseason, not, after his announcement to retire. I just can't do it. The guy shits down leg in big spots all the time when the pressure's on, when the lights are on him. Now, this certainly could be a Rob Manfred's, bringing over some dead baseballs game, hand-delivered, signed, sealed, and hand-delivered from Manfred's to give Kershaw a really good outing here. But I think I've made enough coins betting unders in the Dodgers last couple games where I'm scared to bet this one. Although I could so see some dead baseballs. And looking at both pitchers' squares, Robbie Ray and Kershaw, it does look like they're going to have a pretty darn good day. So I'm not going to fade it. I'm not going to take it. I'll let you have that one. But be warned, Kershaw typically does not perform when the lights are bright. He doesn't. He doesn't. And after he just announced his retirement, this might be one of his last home starts, if not his last home starts. That kind of sounds like cake. I'm not going to lie. That kind of sounds like cake. So I'm out, but I don't want to root against the guy because I like him. We got Willie Beeman coming in, dropping a resub as well. W. William Beeman. Yeah, you're right, Canadian Goots. That strike zone might be wide open. Wide open in that game.
Biggest strike zone of year.
Might be biggest strike zone of year. Yep. And you might have some fucking rock flight baseballs, some top flight baseballs there. Signed, sealed, delivered from Kamish. Okay. Swinging around. Jovan, you got one more straight bet here. How about the Cubbies?
The Cubbies on a very odd game. Shout out the Reds yesterday, and shout out both Hunter Green and Will Benson. One run the whole game. And it wasn't the first 5, and it was a Will Benson RBI double, just the way the guys intended. But now something feels very off about this game because, sure, like 1-0 complete game shutout. Cubs were in a blender. Hunter Green was fucking great. So you would expect, like, you have 2 pitchers on the mound that are worse or in worse form right now. Shota's been, I guess, like a quality start guy, but he hasn't been superhuman. He's given up 3 runs, I think, in 4 straight games. So he hasn't had like a real dominant start in what feels like a month now. And Lodolo is super inconsistent. He had a little run where he was, I guess, rarely inconsistent for him, or rarely consistent for him. I mean, but now he's coming off of a pretty bad start. So, like, it makes sense that this total would be higher. But after a 1-0 game that had little to no shreds of offense, I was very shocked to see his total open up at 9, and then it's come down to 8.5, which is not too shocking, but still feels a little high to me off of yesterday's game. So something's fake sharp because I think we're going to get runs here, and I think it's more so going to come from the Cubs against Lodolo. Because, again, he's going to face a lot of righties in this lineup. He all year hasn't had great stuff against righties. The strikeout stuff hasn't been elite. His numbers overall have gotten much, much better. But I still think against this Cubs lineup, who has seen him a good bit too, and same goes for Shota, to be fair. But I think they're going to make life really tough on him, especially coming off of an abysmal offensive performance like that. And then you add in the fact that Shota is, I don't know, you're going to get like the Reds lefty lineup today, which God knows what they're going to go with. Will Benson's been one of the more consistent hitters for the Reds in the last like handful of weeks now when they've actually given him a shot. He's probably not going to play, and if he does, he's going 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. You're going to have like Austin Hayes in there is really going to be another shot. Ellie's been cold as ma. Espinal's going to be in there. He's been cold as ma. Brian Hayes is going to be in there. He's not seeing anything but pebbles. So the lefty lineup doesn't exactly excite me. The Reds in the last month are the worst team in baseball against lefties, not named the Nationals. So until they show me something, I feel like I've seen this movie before, especially after such a big emotional win.
Okay. All right. Not going to lie and say this one doesn't scare me looking at Lodolo's squares, but I trust.
Yeah.
Right? I do. He's very inconsistent. It's not like his squares have come to fruition when we backed him this year anyway. So who gives a shit what they say tonight?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to get shelled necessarily. I think he might be a little inefficient. And then this reeks of a game that is relatively tight. Cubs are like up by 1 or 2. End of the first 5. Reds bullpen completely shits itself. That's the vibe I get.
All right. Maybe a late splooge. The pitching out square concerns me. It's completely red. Maybe their bullpen's just taxed, but I'll trust. And I'm
it's
down
quite
to
the opposite of that now.
Okay, interesting.
Because Hunter Green just went fucking 9.
Interesting.
So it's weird. The Reds, whenever the Reds bullpen is the most rested, it's weirdly when they toss the most Turks. So we'll see what happens with it.
So if that holds true tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. W. Godsend. W. Dead Larry Bird. Rutgers looks so simple. Got to be Iowa. Good to see we're on the same page tonight. Dead Larry Birds.
W. Bookit Chew too.
Chew raid party of 4. Your booth in the back is ready, my man. Your booth in the back is ready. W. Scary get involved. Sure. We do give a hoot. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. W. Sharp report straight bets for today. We got plenty of ammo for tonight. Let's cash another squad rides. And let's talk about some prize pick squares, huh?
Let's go.
I'm fading Baylor Hayes, who is a terrible quarterback against a terrible defense tonight, sure. But in a game I like the under in a game I think Oklahoma State's defense might show up and stand on business after getting absolutely obliterated last week. I'm assuming they've had the best week of practice they've had all fucking season after giving up 69 points to Oregon in that last game. It can't get worse than that. And this square is completely green. So Baylor Hayes, who's been, a guy who likes to use his legs. He's scored a rushing touchdown in both games so far this season, or his last 2 games, excuse me. I don't think he scores on the ground in this game. I think OK State sells out against the run in this one. And maybe, he gets a passing touchdown in this game, but I don't think he gets 2. So I'll take the less than 1.5 pass plus rush plus receiving. I love taking less thans in this category. They go less than 70% of the time and typically had really good success, especially this season, taking less thans in this category. So taking Baylor Hayes less than, going out there and not doing shit on a greened out square. And then Jansen Junk. I mean, it has to be done. It has to be done. Minus 120 to the under on the books for one of the worst pitchers right now in baseball. In a game I absolutely love the under in, love the first 5 under in against an offense that is seeing fucking pennies up there at the dish right now. It's a Jansen Junk bounce back game. The Marlins stay hot. They might even win this game. But let's isolate. Let's keep the under in the back pocket here. Favorite play of the day. Jansen Junk is going out there and shoving with a completely greened out earned runs allowed square. Maybe the nastiest square on the diamonds.
Let's go. Shout out
W
Baylor
Junk.
and Junk.
W Junk. I'm going to lock in the Sharp Report 4-man while you lock in or while you go over your sell jobs for your 2 squares.
Yep. Krabs. Take a look at this square.
Oh, boy.
Half a receiving yard for Caleb Hicks. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's played 2 games this year, obviously, then 1 last year, 1 the year before. You know how many collegiate receptions he has? He's a running back as a running back.
I'm going to take a guess here and say 0.
Not 1. And this square is on the board. And I think it has some actual football reasoning because Tulsa, after last year, which would also be good for your under, they had one of the worst secondaries in football. I think statistically they were the worst defense in all of of all of the FBS. So what they did over the offseason, they went and kind of rehauled their defense, obviously like made improvements at pretty much every level, but what's gotten significantly better over the course of the last couple of weeks, which you can tell it has a little to do with the opponents, but regardless, the run defense has been absolutely fantastic. And you would think that it's going to be even a bigger focus when you're talking about Zane Flores, who is just a god-awful quarterback. Let's call it what it is. But Oklahoma State really doesn't want to do too much with his arm, but I can guarantee you Tulsa, the run defense, I think, is going to have Caleb Hicks in the run game in a little bit of trouble. And Zane Flores, too, with his legs. Yeah, the run defense is fine, but I think they're also going to make him – they're going to send a lot of pressure and make him take short dump downs like he did a little bit against Oregon. Obviously, they're down 1 billion points at that point, but I think regardless, like a lot of the stuff that happens with his arm, I think is going to have to be in the short game, which is probably why there's a receiving yard up for a running back, starting running back at this point, who has not had a collegiate catch in his entire career.
It's absurd.
3 years, limited games, obviously, but 3 years, redshirt sophomore. So now he's getting one. And then Logan O'Hoppe gets the Coors matchup tonight, I guess, with Bradley Blaylock on the mound. He's been fucking pitiful, Krabs. God awful at the plate. And a lot of it, frankly, has to do with the fact that the Angels, if you look at their past couple weeks here, like Logan O'Hoppe's been bad, like on his own accord, but they've also had like really plus strikeout matchups. So when you have a guy that strikes out or has good strikeout stuff, a lot of the Angels struggle. O'Hoppe is a big boomer bust guy, but when you get a guy like Blaylock who not only doesn't miss bats, he also doesn't miss barrels, and you're in Coors, I think this is a golden matchup for a lot of the Angels, frankly, and he's the biggest boomer bust guy that I think profiles really well to take in Coors. So he's my favorite of probably like the 4 or 5 nasty squares you could pick out of the Angels, but they've been on this like real offensive slump because they've had some diabolical matchups, and I want to take a couple guys to Sploosh and Coors.
Okay. Disgusting chart. Sure, it's a more than a Coors, but if you guys look at the chart, the guy hasn't gotten a hit in fucking 4 games. Bless his heart.
He's also, I think, I can double check still, but he's one of the juicier ones in the game.
I love a juice check on that one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. Hey, Redwoods legend or Redwoods fan legend. Logan O'Hoppe.
Really?
Notorious Redwoods fan. Yep.
Wow.
He was at a hockey game a couple years ago rocking a Redwoods hat. Yep.
Wow.
W Cali guy.
That's just
W Cali guy.
Yeah, he's only behind Adele, Trout, Goodman, and Ward as far as odds go in the game.
Is he ahead of some people who are hotter and better than him right now?
I mean, pretty much anybody in this game is hotter than him right now, I would say.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, he's ahead of like the entire Rockies lineup, not named Goodman.
Yep.
Ahead of Moncada, Moore, all those guys.
He's ahead of Mickey Moniak?
I don't know if Mickey Moniak is even playing. Yeah, he doesn't have odds up or anything because I assume Angels are throwing a lefty, so he's probably not going to play.
Okay. Logan Oak Acres. Sure. I'm in. Nasty chart. Let's come through for us, big boy. He is so dope. He is so fucking
For what it's worth. Again, Coors, so going to have squares up, but he also has a run square on the board. That is.
Okay, that's insane.
Has not seen the light of day since the Vietnam War.
That is insane. There's no reason why that should be up. Honestly, there's no reason why the TV should be up. Sure, it's in colors, but I mean, it could not be more red.
Yeah.
It could not be more red. Okay. Okay. W. Tinlin 210. Good to see you lurking in the chat once again. W. Vibes. Appreciate you guys. W. Squares. I did drop the link to the Sharp Report format in the chat. Goots, if it's possible, my man, can we get a link droppage in the YouTube? That would be massive. That would be massive. Take your time. Take your time. But the YouTube chat deserves it. They deserve more love, and they deserve a link. Okay, we'll get that link over to you guys because Goots is goated. He's him. And YouTube chat, would love to see you guys up and moving. They're a little dead over there today on a Friday afternoon, huh? You guys doing okay over there? Let me know. W. Goots dropping the link. You're him. Appreciate you, Beast. Michael Showers said Iowa by 1 million. Every time I see Michael Showers in the YouTube chat, I think of Michael Showers. I think that's just his burner. PLL legend. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Trent in address live. Yes, Trent will be there in address. So if you want to see that, which I feel like all you probably weirdly do, check that out at 2 p.m. Eastern today on the Coin Toss Live right after BTL today.
People have been thrilled
right after BTL today.
That.
People were doing cartwheels and backflips just like Tyreek was in the end zone last night. Long week. You're right, Chris. You're right. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. Okay. W. Cola. Hope that presentation went well, my man. W. Twitch chat as well.
Hope you, man.
Krabs, I know you want Trent in address. Honestly, I really don't. I really don't. But, hey, you got to pay your debts. It's good to see Trent paying his debts and rocking the dress. He has to wear it because he went 0-2 on his Mino tape plays.
Yeah. He not only went 0-2, but like he invented his own coin toss bylaws to give 2 plays because he didn't feel like choosing one and went 0-2.
Nice.
That's just like, what are we doing?
All right. W Squares, Jovan, that Caleb Hicks one is maybe some of your best work. People in the chat are saying he's got a discrepancy with his rushing yards and his rushing receiving yards by like 13 yards, which I always love seeing.
We'll notice that with a lot of the guys. His is maybe a little more aggressive, but there will be bigger bumps than like the actual lines are. I don't know why.
It's just every year it keeps getting fatter and fatter.
I know.
Eventually it's going to be a 20-yard discrepancy. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's unbelievably fat.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. The guy's never made a fucking catch.
Crazy.
Come on now.
Never.
Come on now.
Yes, Kyle B.
All right. W coin wheel spinach for Jovan on the coin toss this week. Okay, talk about paying your debts.
Yeah, I didn't get to because I wasn't on it last week.
I cannot wait to watch the coin toss at 2 p.m. Eastern right after BTL today. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. First ever live coin toss.
No, we've done a couple of them, I think, at the end of last year. When it was bowl game season, playoff season.
Sure.
But first regular season one, I think.
Okay. Love to hear it. We holding down the YouTube, WN, W Mason, W Ralphie, and Andrew always lurking in the YouTube. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Chat is dialed. Whole day streams, EDZ bets. No surge and no yap, but yeah, we got a couple at least. All right. And I believe there's going to be a Saturday college football sweats once again. You guys have been killing it with those.
Yeah,
we're going to do a Sunday spaces before the Sunday slate as well. We might even have a Sunday sweats too.
Yeah.
Goated weekend streams. Okay. Be there, be square, chat. Be there or be square. Hey, be there and be square if you really want. Okay, it's your life. Tinlin 210 coming in, resubbing. W Tinlin 210.
Go, goat.
W Tinlin 210. Can we clap it up for Rowdy, who is now a Twitch affiliate? Let's go, Rowdy. Let's go, Rowdy. Hey, shout out that field goal late, Rowdy, to cash that over, my man. Great work. Great work. All right. Let's keep moving and let's keep grooving, boys. We have a lot to get to today. Super excited to go over the college football weekend preview. Goots, do me a favor. If you're around, if you're local, if you're himmy, run that shit. Let's get to it. Yes, W Pip in the spaces. You've been on fire giving me some winners in those spaces. Guys, feel free to come up, ask questions in those spaces, and give sell jobs for your plays as well. I always like to open up the floor and hearing from you guys and what you guys like on the weekend. So it's not just about me yapping. I do that enough during the week. I want to hear from you guys. I want to help you guys cash. Okay? W's. All right, let's get into it. Some snooze fest, guys. Try to stay awake here. Don't fall asleep. Jovan, you probably knew this one was coming. Have to fade points in the biggest game of the weekend. In my opinion, you got Auburn, you got Oklahoma, two teams who have been scoring plenty of points of late. Some weird angles here. We got a Jackson Arnold revenge game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure this is a revenge game for him. So, and let's not act like John Mateer has not been one of the best QBs in college football so far this season. He has. Both these teams are undefeated. It's Auburn. You got Hugh Freeze coaching for his fucking life out there. Right now, they're 3-0. Jackson Arnold looks like he's him. And the Auburn defense has actually looked pretty good. Nobody's talking about that. Wow. Jovan.
Aries?
How about a vintage Aries 5-unit sub whale? Let's fucking go, dudes.
Timothy.
Let's fucking go, Aries. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. W subbies, my man. We appreciate you. So many subbies today. So many subbies today. Pega, let me know if you're still keeping track. I want to see if we get to 100 today. That'd be huge. Big Baller, Josiah getting involved, dropping a follow. W Big Baller. W Big Baller. We appreciate you. And yeah, we need the Rowdy Tarleton report for the weekend, certainly. But let's talk about these snooze fests. Let's talk about these unders here. If you look at prize picks, you'll see the QB squares are just screaming under in the game, in my opinion. You got Mateer with a lower passing yards than I expected. Maybe it's because this Auburn defense is decent, although they really haven't played many people. Let's not act like their first game of the season, though, where they held Baylor to 24 points was not extremely impressive. It actually was, especially looking back on Baylor's season so far. Holding Baylor to 24 points is like holding the Hokies to fucking 0 points, which isn't saying much. But
I don't know if I'd go there, Krabs.
All right, maybe that's too far. Maybe I'm just hyped up about that spread moving 7 points against Wofford. But we got Aries coming in, dropping another 5-unit sub whale, Jovan.
Go
another
Aries.
one. Another one. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Pega, can you count up and see how many we've got just today in general? That'd be huge. I want to see who gets us to 100. Krabs tries to make everything about the Hokies. Yep, get used to it, Jeff. Get used to it, Jeff. All about the Hokies. All about unders this weekend, just in general, and especially this game, Auburn, Oklahoma. I think you finally see Mateer show that he's human in a big-time game on ABC when the guy has shown up and showed out, unless he's just Baker Mayfield 2.0, which, I mean, if he is, I'll tip cap after this weekend. But he's coming off a 42-piece against Temple, a little bit more of a lower-scoring affair against Michigan, although, to be fair, we've had 3 unders for this Oklahoma team all season when everybody's talking about Mateer and how great he is. Sure, he's been playing great, but the games have still squeaked under, and we cannot forget this is still a Venables defense-first team. We're forgetting about it, but Venables is putting fucking meat on tape, and let's not forget the job he's done this year on the defensive side of the ball. They've only given up 16 points this whole fucking season, Jovan, and Auburn's defense has been sneaky good as well. That performance against Baylor was very impressive. So seeing this total drop in a couple points as well from the opener is a great sign, and I want to back no fun and an under in the biggest game of the weekend. I think the lights will be a little too bright here for Jackson Arnold, which is not saying much, but the guy's been so great so far this season. We know that's not going to last forever. Respectfully, bless his heart. Oklahoma is going to do whatever they can to stop him from running the rock and make him beat him through the air. That's when I think you see him struggle for the first time this season, and I'm expecting Mateer's first mid or average game of the year. Lights are bright at home on a big primetime game on ABC. Give me the under.
Yep. Shout out Sooners for laying Nuck.
Give me the under. Yeah, Sooners probably win this game as well. I'm with you on that. Okay. Tell me about this under at Army, North Texas. Taking a North Texas under. Not for the faint of heart.
Not for the faint of heart. Just like they put 59 up last week on our beloved Washington State, who loves to respect some overs, whether it's with their defense or with Jackson Potter. But the defense actually looks somewhat good. It kind of has, I guess, through the air all this season, albeit they've had some very, very simple matchups, even though like Washington State, I was a little higher on what they could do throughout the air. It didn't matter because the over still hit. But regardless, the run defense does not look great. Western Michigan with Jalen Buckley, I think they ran 30 times, and that was the entire game plan of that game, and they took them to OT. Army, if you remember last year when this was a Chandler Morris-led team, this was the game of the infamous 13-minute drive where they drove down and milked the clock. They also had a 10-minute drive, I think, the quarter before that, where they ended up punting, which was hilarious. But that's Army's kind of MO against all of these teams that are super high flying and they want to keep their offense off of the field. And with what North Texas and GOAT Drew Mestamaker has done all year so far, you can kind of bet that's going to be their game plan now. And especially, I like these, I guess, spread offenses or North Texas type teams going up north. I know it's not cold yet, but going up north to like an unfamiliar environment and playing these teams on the road. And I want to fade that offense. And I especially think that total dropping from, I think, 54.5 down to 50.5 after what UNT's done on offense all year is pretty telling. And I feel like Army, after that big win against Kansas State, is going to come in and maybe not look as good on offense, but I think they're going to be pretty conservative with how they deal with it in this munch clock the whole way through.
Munch. I'm so in. Just the fact this total's dropping is enough for me to get involved. I mean, give me a break. Could be a vintage Army game. Vintage Army game. Their QB is hurt. I don't know if he's playing. If he is, it's not going to be good. He's just also not that good in general. Army's always been a defensive first type of team, unless when they had Bryson Daly, but he's long gone by now. He's fucking overseas fighting in the war or something. Respect. North Texas has been very impressive so far this season, Jovan, man. 3-0. They're scoring points. Their offense is fun. They're coming off a 59-burg like you're talking about against Wazoo. Perfect time to fade. And let's not forget the last time Army stepped on this field at home, they lost outright to Tarleton State. If you don't think they're fucking showing up, given that they're all a military school, which you never have to worry about that in the first place, getting their lick back and revenge at home after getting embarrassed by Tarleton State, shout out Rowdy, you don't know ball. You don't know ball. I like Army to win this game as well.
They had a bye after that Kansas State game, which not only is good to kind of avoid the letdown spot, but you got a whole extra week of rest for A, your quarterback to hopefully come back healthy, but B, to game plan for a very unique game plan against a North Texas spread team that you want to keep off the field with all your might, like last year.
Yep. Could not agree more. Jovan, I'm hearing we're 21 subs away from a hundo today. And we just got Aries, who just came in and gave out 21 subs.
Nah.
Are you kidding me, Aries?
You're him, Aries.
You're fucking him, dude. I'm grabbing a V8.
No way you got him to grab a V8. That's so deserved.
Come on.
Shout out Aries, man. You're fucking goated. 100 subs. When's the last time Serge has gotten 100 subs, man? When's the last time? I'd love to know. While he's shopping for a dress right now. V8s and long
Let's fucking go, Aries. This one's for you, Aries. Let's fucking go. Let's have a weekend, boys.
Krabs,
let's fucking go, Aries. Let's go. Come on. Let's fucking go,
actually
chat.
like V8s. That's what at this point he might actually like them.
I like him. I do. I like him. I'll say it. I'm an honest man. I like him. I do. I'm not afraid who knows it. I like him. I like V8.
Man. Absurd.
I'm going to be red as heck. My veins are going to be pumping here in about 5 minutes once that hits the bloodstream. Woo! That's a lot of sodium in the bloodstream, folks. That's a lot of sodium for a Friday morning, folks. Don't be doing that unless you're a professional.
Man.
Don't be chugging V8s unless you've talked to a physician. Okay? Unless you're a professional. Let's fucking go, chat. We're out of breath from chugging a V8. I have to call a doctor myself. Krabs, Tennessee first half team total over 31.5 against UAB. UAB's defense is terrible, Joshy, and Tennessee has revenge on their mind after blowing that game last week. I don't hate it. Aries, dude, thank you so much. Can we all drop some W Aries in the fucking chat? He just gave 21 subs out. I can't believe it.
After you already had a tenner. He's at
31 subs, dudes.
Raheem Mostert subs.
31 subs. Krabs V8 equals Popeye spinach. Let's have a fucking weekend, Big Cheesy. Let's have a fucking weekend. Come on. All right, let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about some overs. Guys, I fucking hate betting overs. I hate betting overs. I do.
What a game to bet.
But I like this over. Arkansas, Memphis over 60.5. A game where I don't think you see a single punt. No Tressway in sight in this one. One of my favorite QBs in college football, a guy who I wish I put on my top 10 QBs list instead of Avery Johnson, Taylor Green, who's a fucking beast. Great college QB. Dude's an absolute stud. He's going to go out there and muck clam against Memphis, and Memphis is going to counter with Brendan Lewis. Very impressive kid. Jovan, you're right. This Memphis offense is purring, absolutely purring right now. And I cannot wait to bet on some points in this game. Totals up from 58.5 to 60.5. And again, I think this is going to be a back and forth affair. Arkansas catching some steam here on the road after a loss. I personally do lean Arkansas, but I do think Memphis might get a backdoor here because, again, there's going to be no defense played in this game. It's going to be very similar to that Ole Miss-Arkansas game from last week where there was 70-plus points in that one. And we know Memphis can score as well. It's time to fade Memphis's defense, though. Memphis has played Troy, Georgia State, and Chattanooga. How are they going to be ready to stop Taylor Green in this game, Jovan? That scares the heck out of me. That's for sure. They're going to need a counter. Good thing they have a good offense that's going to match as well. Price match guarantee with Arkansas's offense and their scoring. So give me the over. Give me points. You guys know I'm a sucker for these overs in the 60s, and I'm due to hit one of these. Let's lock in the over 60.5 in Arkansas and Jovan's Memphis Tigers.
Memphis Tigers. I'll save some nugs for that game, but probably one that's cool for you is Taylor Green and Brendan Lewis are like childhood friends. So this game is, they're going to want to show off against each other. They played on like the same travel basketball team, I guess, for years. I forget if it was Taylor or Brendan's dad who was the coach, but like they're fired up to go after it in this game.
Chat, what other show are you hearing these type of nuggets and these type of tidbits? No other show. Nobody else is talking about that. I haven't heard one peep about that this entire week.
And Jovan, for Memphis, the GOATs.
That's lab work, sure. Nobody else knows that shit besides you, bro. Stay fucking dialed. My point is, what other show is giving you guys nuggets like that? No other show on the fucking planet.
Quick nuggets.
Quick nugs. Reminds me of Kyron Drones versus Cam Ward in that game last year.
Yeah.
70 points in that game. Let's see if we can get 70 in this one.
Don't forget.
All right, Colorado, Wyoming. I cannot believe you're betting a Wyoming over, but could be a good time to buy low on Colorado here. Jesus.
Yes, I think I don't know what the story was with the whole Caden Salter benching, and he's supposedly supposed to be back for this week. I don't know if that was Dion like legitimately seeing something in what Staub did against Delaware, which he was good. He wasn't great. I didn't think it was enough to like bench Salter, or maybe there's something behind the scenes where like he was trying to send a message to him to fire him up or fire the team up, whatever it is. Again, Caden Salter, it seems like from all reports, is going to be starting this game, which interesting that Dion made that move. And that certainly makes me feel like it did not have to do with performance or something, I guess, individual from that Delaware game that Caden Salter was bent for that game. So I think Colorado's going to come in here fucking fired up and put Nuck on Wyoming's defense, which they've played some very low scoring games. Part of that's just because their offense is fucking terrible, but I think this is a spot for Colorado to absolutely splooge. And on the other side of the grosser part of it is certainly Wyoming, which they've had a 10-0 game, I think, to start against Akron in game one. They played a game that didn't matter. And then last week, I think it was like 31-6 against Utah, and Utah struggled that entire game. So like Wyoming's defense had them in a box for a while until they pulled away in the fourth quarter when it didn't really matter. But the quarterback, Caden Anderson, has been elite when not under pressure. The problem is he's one of the worst quarterbacks in all of football when he is under pressure. So Colorado does not get much pressure. So I think he's going to have a pretty good bounce back game. I guess bounce back you can say for a couple of games now, but I think he's going to sling rock against the Colorado defense. And if they do get pressure on him, there's probably 6 going the other way. So I feel like it's a boom or bust offensive day for Wyoming, which you can't really say too often, but I think this is points, the gross late night over, which kind of become my favorites.
Yeah, you have. You've had a lot of those. Let's hope they continue going how they've been going. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Yeah. But did you see the Trae Young Pat Bev beef?
Saw that.
I'm team Trae Young.
Oh, I'm so team Trae Young.
I'm Pat team Trae Young. Pat Bev is just a fucking jerk, man.
I like Pat Bev because I enjoy shit talking, especially in the NBA. It makes it interesting. It makes it fun. He's a troll, but like he got cooked. Call it is.
Dude, has to go play overseas now, man. Trae Young's out here dropping 30 a game, leading teams to a playoff, carrying them, bro. Yeah, Trae Young would literally break his fucking ankles out there on the court. Break his fucking ankles. Yeah, he'll do it again. Well, actually, he won't because Pat Bev has to go play in fucking Greece just to lace him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a big Pat Bev guy anymore. The guy yaps too much, doesn't back it up on the court. Trae Young, I'm a fan of his game.
Dude,
I'm a
he's
fan
like
of his game.
yapping. He's yapping about his accolades. And Pat Bev is fucking his accolades. Great defender, great team guy, but he has no individual accolades.
King of yapping.
King of
At
yapping.
least Draymond Green has championships. Jesus.
Yeah,
Right? He's
Draymond has
King Yapper
championships.
too.
He can talk. He's a pivotal point of those teams. Like Pat Bev,
Yeah.
take a seat back. His most notable moment is jumping on top of a fucking scorer's table after a play-in win.
Yep. Cream Fresh coming in, dropping a resub. Clap it up real quick for Cream Fresh. At a boy, good to see you, man. And let's move and groove on to the next category. Blowouts. This is a Dabo meat game. You guys see that Dabo presser where he pretty much crashed out on the media this week? And again, nobody's talked about it since. But you see that interview, Jovan, of
I
Dabo?
saw it, yeah.
Yeah, dudes. Dabo's fucking pissed. He's fired up. He says if they don't want me here, they can get rid of me. I'll go coach somewhere else. He's about to drop a fucking 25-point win here on Syracuse, whose defense is Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese. Dudes, they still gave up 24 points to Colgate. They're coming off a blowout, mind you. Sure, they put up 66 points. Syracuse has always been able to score, at least the last couple of years under Fran Brown. Dude, they gave up 20 points to UConn, 24 to Colgate. How much are they going to give up to a Clemson team coming off a loss outright to Georgia Tech as 3-point favorites? This team has not covered once this season. People are starting to ask some serious questions about Dabo, and seeing them laying 16.5 reminds me exactly like Miami last weekend, which was a big-time winner. Fading the trendy dog here in Syracuse. Fran Brown has been in more fucking podcasts this week than he has wins this season. He's been on a lot of fucking pods doing his little victory laps this year, saying, if you're trying to steal my players, I'll see you in person. I'll kick your ass. Nice, coach. Real professional. You're about to get your ass kicked by Dabo Swinney in a must-win spot. Must win. Clemson wins by 25.
Let's go. Shout out the Tigers.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Yeah.
Baylor. Hashtag thank you, Rav. Got Arizona State coming in for one of the bigger games, I guess, of their season at this point, because they've already lost one that they had no business losing. But it's a part of this whole thing. We talked about it going into the season. One of the reasons why I like their win total under and took it, and why I'm sweating it now. They were the most fortunate team in college football when it came to one-score games last year. So the second that you get in one, cough, Miss State, things don't go your way. That's kind of how it goes in college football. And now you get a pretty tough road trip against Baylor, which Baylor is a really tough place to play. And the last time they were there, the big game, everybody watched it. They fell against an Auburn team that I think was so much more physical than them, which gave them a bunch of problems. And then they couldn't really do anything to stop anything offensively that Auburn was doing. They didn't even have to throw the ball, and they really didn't for a majority of it. They just ran it down their throat because the offensive line dominated. Arizona State can't do that for a multitude of reasons. I think the Baylor defensive line is better on what they have on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to be down and running back in this game as well. And really, outside of Jordan Tyson, nothing in that offense has looked relatively consistent so far this year, which is alarming. So, like, now they're going to need to be going band for band with Baylor. You know Baylor's going to score points. Bryson Washington, I think, is going to have a great day. Sawyer Robertson's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think the offense is going to do what the offense did against SMU. And Arizona State going on the road to the Toilet Bowl in Waco trying to match, I don't think is going to go very well. You don't get many games at this point with Arizona State as a dog after the respect they get from last year. They're going down.
Yep. How is Arizona State going to slow down Sawyer? They can't.
I don't know. If you put insert team, how he's going to slow down Sawyer, there's not going to be many that I would say they can actually do it.
They can't. This Arizona State team's a fraud, folks. They had a great run last year. They have a QB who can throw the ball really far. They don't have Scatterboo, and they don't have luck on their side this season. It's all Baylor, a team that I honestly want to buy stock into. Their offense is so fucking good, and Arizona State is going to have serious trouble slowing this team down. Arizona State will be a public dog. That's probably why that line's moving back. Okay.
Yeah.
Dubs.
Yeah. ASU is pretty hurt, which again for
Yeah.
a track meet game, which really doesn't have too much to do with Arizona State. Pretty much every game against Baylor is going to be somewhat of a track meet. Like, you got to be able to keep up. On the road. It's a tough task.
Yep. Love that play from you. All right. Fading Arizona State. If you did it every game this season, you're going to make coins. All right. At least on the spread. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's get to the next category here. Are the dogs barking? Has to be done. I don't make the rules. I like Miami. Again, this is not even really a dig at Miami. This is a hungry dog runs faster game. Plain and simple, just like fucking Miami last night in the NFL. If you guys don't get it, then you just don't get it at this point. From plus 4.5 to plus 8.5 now. Wow, they actually moved from 9.5 to 8.5 in the last hour or so. That's actually a really good sign. Maybe people are buying back in. Sharps are buying back into Florida there, moving the line back a little bit. Guys, Florida's keeping this game within a touchdown. This is the ultimate fat, happy, complacent spot for this Miami team. It's 3-0. They've had a great start to the season so far. Carson Beck looks like the Heisman Trophy winner, and shit, he might be. I'm not saying they lose this game outright, but what I am saying is you're going to get Florida's best in this game after back-to-back stinkers, where they lost outright to USF as minus 18.5 point favorites. They lost outright to LSU. I know they were dogs in that game. They lost by 10 to LSU in a game where it was right there. They had it right in front of them. People are starting to say fire the coach. People are saying Miami is a shoo-in for the college football playoffs. Well, those two things honestly probably should happen and will happen if we're being real here. But this is the perfect time to fade Miami and back Florida. And what do you know? Snellzilla in the fucking building. Can we clap it up for Snell, who's been on fire on the bump of late? Knock on wood.
Dude,
Knock
Snell
on wood.
when he was getting the ball too last night, he was water.
Knock on wood. Let's fucking go, Snell.
Snell getting pissed.
Let's fucking go, Snell.
Snell, you gotta let him know. You gotta let him know about Trent's performance in the chat. There he goes.
I've heard the recap. I've heard the summary. I heard it got ugly. I heard you put him in his fucking place, as you should. Sometimes Trent needs a little nudge. Get him to wake up a little bit. 7'4" shooter out here not shooting. Snell, please don't watch the next stream.
Oh, yes.
Snell, you want to see something?
In 50 minutes, Trent will be wearing a dress to pay off a bet. So please tune in right here.
The Fade God is back. Trent put meat on tape and said, if I don't go 1-1 at least, if he goes 0-2 on his two best bets last weekend, he will wear a dress on the coin toss. The show's starting up at 2 p.m. on the same channel. You'll see it live. You'll see Trent in a fucking dress. So at least stick around or come back around 2 p.m. Eastern, Snell. You're not going to want to miss that. Unbelievable. And I would have paid money to just hear Snell ripping Trent a new one on the court last night. I'm sure we'll get some reps again in soon, though.
It was crazy.
Sure we'll get some reps again in soon. Dude, Snell, I was out and about last night, man. I got next game. I got a player. I got a small forward. He's more of a glue guy and a team player. Okay, he's not out there dropping 30 points. He's more of a passer, a facilitator. He gets a couple rebounds. He plays small ball. Let's run it. Next time I'm in. All right, sign me up. You need a glue guy. You need a team player. I was complaining for about an hour straight. Yeah. Not surprised one bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not surprised one bit. Put him in his place.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving and grooving. We got a lot of plays to talk about here. Guys, Florida is keeping this game within the number against Miami, the ultimate fat, happy, complacent spot. But, guys, we cannot forget this is a rivalry game. The total in this game has dropped from 55.5 to 51.5, which makes me lean the dog here as well. Could be a little bit of a lower scoring affair, closer game than people are expecting. Buy the dip on the Gators. This is a can coach feed the family, play the day of the weekend here, because he might get fired just like Brent Pry did. This is a feed fam game for Florida here, and they're going to show up, and DJ Lagway is going to play good for the first time this season. You mark my words, you're going to see them keep this game within a touchdown, let alone the 9.5. So back the Gators, buy low on the Gators, a team that we were very high on this season, Jovan, preseason. Do not give up. We did not hear no bell. They're battle-tested. They have a tough schedule, and this is the ultimate sleepy spot for the Miami Hurricanes. Ultimate sleepy spot.
Let's go.
Okay. Now, I cannot believe you have the Terps up here on this card. I'm not going to lie. I know you're a Terp guy. I can't believe it.
The slurp has to stop.
I can't believe it.
I've had enough.
The slurp is here, especially because, like this line, I've seen 50 comments about this line on Twitter, and maybe you've seen some of the same of why is it so big? It's big because the Terps will never get line respect, because deservingly so. They have not been good, and we're never good. Yes, It was lights out from 3 Snell, of course.
Fucking guy.
The Terps are not going to get respect on any of the line just because they're a young team. They're going on the road. And also, it's going to keep going up because you know who's expected to play now for Wisconsin, Krabs?
Oh, Billy
Edwards. I don't know how many times we've talked about the revenge games. side with the team, not the player.
Yep.
That's something that gives me an edge because, like, this is Malik Washington's, like, first big test. So, like, usually I would be fading a lot of that. I'm higher on the Maryland team. So, like, a little bit of bias creeps in there in terms of wanting to back him in a situation like this. But when you got a revenge game with a lot of these teams that not only are you playing your former quarterback in Billy Edwards, but you got a running back in Dylan Jones that's best friends with a lot of the team. So this is a big-time emotional game for a super young team on the road. This Wisconsin team, first of all, I don't believe in whatsoever, whether they have Billy Edwards or Danny O'Neal at the home. If it's Danny O'Neal, it's more of a football reasoning to take because he's a god-awful quarterback. I will not take that propaganda from Wisconsin fans. But it's looking like it's going to be Billy Edwards, and the line would kind of say that too. He's still also a bad quarterback, and I think this Maryland defense is going to be good, which is a lot of the reason why I wanted to back him all throughout this year. I think they're going to put pressure on him. I think they're going to force him into crucial mistakes. I think this game comes down to the wire and is a one-possession game at the very least, and very obviously I think there's a chance that Maryland, for the first time I think in a year and a half, wins a Big Ten road game, which they're going to have to do as big dogs pretty much the entire way.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Is it just the Terps year, man? Is everything coming together perfectly for the Terps to finally do something on the gridiron? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I know Goots is a Terps hater. I get it. But I'd love to see Malik Washington thrive. Went to my rival high school. I'm going to root for the kids. Local kid, Maryland guy. He's goated. First real test. I'd probably prefer the under in this game. I'm not going to lie. I'd probably prefer the under in this game. But Wisconsin seems like a trendy favorite. People are siding with Billy Edwards, who's just not good at football. Wasn't good at Maryland. Definitely not going to be good at Wisconsin, especially if he's banged up, if he even plays. Could be a decent fade the public, fade the Sharps and the Squares, who are collabing on Wisconsin this weekend, and back in the Terps, who've not covered their last couple games. They've won, but they haven't covered. Yeah. I'm so in.
I don't know how they didn't cover last week. I was thinking about taking it too. I was glad I didn't. They're up like, I think it was 35-0 at halftime. They're minus 28 and a half. Didn't cover.
All right. Yeah, I like this from you. I like the Terps. Weird spot. Let's move and groove. Let's talk about some meat on tape plays. Here. Guys, you don't just walk into Miami of Ohio and get a handout W. And it looks like a handout W on paper for UNLV. Does it not? Calandria playing great right now, Jovan. People are saying he's the savior out there in Vegas. I'm sure he's having a jolly great time in the casinos out there, although he's a UVA kid, so he might not even go to the casinos. He might just be reading books and shit. They're 3-0 this season, Jovan. They're down from minus 4.5 to minus 2.5. Mind you, this is a team that was ranked at times last year. This was a team that's been a college football team, college football playoff type team, during the season at least, at times talked about over the last couple seasons. And they're minus 2.5 against 0-2 Miami of Ohio. If you believe in betting lines, not teams, boy, do I have a play for you guys. I hate to bet the Red Hawks. They're dog shit. Seems like they've lost their fastball. To me, it seems like the perfect time to bet the Red Hawks here in this spot at home. Still a really tough place to play out there in Oxford. I'm not talking about Mississippi. I'm talking about Oxford, Ohio, at the Fred C. Yeager Stadium. That's where fucking undefeated teams' hopes go to die. And UNLV, they're not going to be undefeated after they leave this game. Really sneaky, tough place to play. Going to be a loud crowd. W fans, honestly, up there for Miami of Ohio. And this team, this is their Super Bowl, Jovan. They're 0-2 to start the season. People are saying this great mid-major, this great group of 4 team over the last decades, it's been getting better and better, but finally starting to leak oil, finally starting to trend down. People are saying they're dead. They're calling for the coach. They're saying they don't have a good QB. Their defense has lost their fastball. Guys, they just played Rutgers. I'm very high on Rutgers' offense overall. Maybe not tonight against Ohio, who's just better, but I like that Rutgers team. And let's not forget Miami of Ohio held Wisconsin on the roads for Miami of Ohio at Wisconsin. They held them to 17 points. I think the Red Hawks got a little bit more magic left in them, Jovan. I think they win this game outright, but I'll take my favorite spread in football, plus 2.5 for the Red Hawks against the undefeated UNLV/UVA Calandrias. Has to be done.
Let's go.
Has to be done.
Calandrias, you might be fading UNLV all year when he's the starting quarterback.
Yep. Although he's been really good, and I honestly think he's a good QB, but not in this spot. Totals down, spreads down. This one screams Red Hawks.
Screams.
Screams.
Yeah, that line is filthy, Krabs. Filthy.
Screams.
Let's go. I'll take you to the Liberty Bowl.
There you go. Yep. Take me to Liberty Bowl. Go.
The Booper Bowl with Brendan and Talon, childhood friends going at it. Funny enough, this is going to be Brendan's second game at the Liberty Bowl. Talon Green has already played there twice, which is hilarious. But they're beating the Arkansas Razorbacks. I've alluded to this weeks prior. You have Arkansas, who's coming off of their SEC opener, super emotional, back and forth, insane game. You opened SEC against Ole Miss. It was a weird spot, even more so now because Trinidad Chambliss became the starter. So, like, you were facing him instead of Austin Simmons. You were on the road in Oxford. You hung with them. You covered as a 7.5-point dog and lost by 6. But a crazy type game. And you know what's looming for them next week, Krabs? A game that seems incredibly more winnable after the past couple weeks, a game that the fan base is juiced about, a game that the team and program is juiced about because it doesn't very happen. They're hosting Notre Dame in SEC country in a game that doesn't happen very often in terms of Notre Dame coming down to SEC country. So the whole conference is juiced about that game. So what spot screams really weird spot in between the two? The little sandwich game, then going on the road to the Liberty Bowl against Group of 5 Memphis. So not only is this just probably one of the weirdest spots I think I was able to pick out before this season and obviously planned on betting going into it, but for Memphis, a team that this American conference looks legit. Like, you could have a bunch of different contenders. There are teams that look great up and down. Like, there's probably 4 teams you can point out right now that are legit contenders to win the conference, maybe more. Yep. What better resume building win could you have than beating an SEC team? Obviously, it's Arkansas, but in terms of the resumes across the American, there's not very much like resume building you could have other than this. Like, this is one of the biggest wins you're going to have for any American team, or you could have for any American team. But now you come in against a defense that's not very good. We know this. Arkansas, year in and year out, is going to have a shit defense. But just like Trinidad Chambliss did, Brandon Lewis doesn't really have to sling the ball down the field. Not to mention that's the way this Memphis team isn't built. Like, they're built with a run game that has 50 different guys at this point. I think DeRosier is supposed to be back this week, but Sutton Smith's been fantastic. Frank Peston's been good as kind of a power back. Brendan Lewis is probably going to have 80-plus rushing yards in this game. Honorable mention for his square. They match up really well, and I feel like watching them the last couple of weeks, they've been saving a little bit playbook-wise for this game, and they've kind of alluded to that themselves. They're keeping things pretty vanilla because they haven't had to really expand the playbook. I think they're bringing out every single stop possible for this game, which, again, you don't get to host an SEC team, even though it's Arkansas, at your house with a chance to build your resume very, very often. They're going to take advantage, and they're going to win this game in Memphis.
Okay. All right, so let's just hope there's points. Let's hope there's points.
Yeah.
All right. Back in your school, back in both your schools, back-to-back, Maryland and Memphis.
Yeah.
Sure.
All of their, big, like, I know I'm going to bet on them games are, like, in the front half of conference play. So next couple weeks, you'll see them a couple times. But this is the big one.
This squad's better.
This is the big one.
This is a big one.
I'll tell you what, though.
You don't tape fly, dude.
Sneaky potential option for game days if Memphis keeps going.
Okay.
There might be one on the card a little later.
I would love to see that. They got to earn it. Maybe an upset win here this weekend. It might help. All right, let's power through these prize pick squares so we get to the NFL weekend preview. Okay. Tempo and pace, extra crispy. Already kind of sold this one. Anthony Calandria, he ain't throwing two. Remember those pick problems at UVA? Yeah, those are going to come back to haunt him this weekend on the road up there in Oxford. And I don't think he's thrown even one, to be honest with you. I think this could be a stinky, low-scoring affair. You're going to see Miami of Ohio's defense shine, and they're going to have UNLV looking like a chicken with their fucking head cut off, and those Calandria pick problems are coming back. His inaccuracy problems, they're coming back. Sure, he might keep a play alive or two with his feet, but Calandria ain't throwing 2 touchdown passes, and the square could not be more green and look like an easier more than against a mid-school like Miami of Ohio. And then Cade Klubnik. Guys, Cade Klubnik is throwing a pick in every game so far this season. Enough is enough, Cade. Enough is enough. They're doubting you. They're chirping you. They're saying you might not even be an NFL QB at this point. You're certainly not going to be the first QB taken in the draft. I've heard enough of the Cade Klubnik slander. He's going to go out there and throw a fucking perfect game against a terrible defense, to be fair, in Syracuse. This will be like going against a fucking FCS defense compared to Georgia Tech and the amount of heart they showed in that game last week. So Cade Klubnik is going to play a clean game. He knows the picks have been a problem. They've cost his team a ton, and he's got a completely greened out chart. Back Cade to stay off. of throwing a pick, not throwing a pick, not having a turnover in this game. Cade keeping the ball secure and helping his Clemson team win big.
Yep. I'm in.
Yep. W's. Big Cheesy coming in, giving out a sub-8 to Dylan, the game fan. Let's fucking go, Big Cheesy. Attaboy. Attaboy. All right. Let's move and groove, Jovan. Quick sell jobs here on your squares.
Red Octo. He ain't getting doubled this game. And you won't have the worst corner in football on Jordan Dwyer the entirety of the game, which is probably why, compared to like what the yards were week one, where they were flipped and McAllister is much higher than Dwyer, they opened the other way around and they're both going the opposite way, aka McAllister's going far up and Dwyer's going far down. So I think we're going to see more of what we saw conveniently in last year's game, where McAllister was wide receiver 4 and he had 114 yards. You're going to get single coverage for a lot of this game. McAllister is going to get this on 2 catches. He's going to be explosive in this game. I'm excited.
Love all the squares up there for him.
Taking the ladder back up. And then DeMond Williams. Crucial game for Washington. Not because this is just the Apple Cup and a revenge game. They're also big favorites, but this is the get-right game. Not get-right game, but get-everything-ready game for Ohio State, which I will be betting them in that game, and I'm super excited about that. Jonah Coleman actually had a little bit of trouble. I know it's a different Washington State team, big-time difference, more so on the offensive side, but he had a little bit of trouble last year against this team, and I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case again. Jonah Coleman's been fucking fantastic, but DeMond Williams is going to throw the ball downfield. If we saw how bad this Washington State pass defense was last week against North Texas, you're going to have whatever chances you want through the air, and I think you have to get some of those out before Ohio State because you don't want to go in there completely cold turkey. I think they see what DeMond Williams can do with his arm in this game, and I think they come with a couple of explosives through the air that result in touchdowns.
Okay. W squares, love buying low on McAllister's Deli as well.
Yep.
Okay. Dubs.
Meat.
Loic said he's going to be in the Heisman talks after this weekend. Okay.
After next week, maybe. That's
all right.
I can tell you right now, it's probably going to be the meat play next week.
Wow. Meat. 2 words, chat. Meat. All right. Let's pivot. Let's talk about the professionals here, guys. Goots, if you're around, if you're local, run that shit. Let's fucking go. All right, chat, let's get right into it. Let's talk about some snooze fest. Stay awake for me. Hang in there. We'll get these unders over with here. Here's the deal. Taking the under, fading Sam Darnold, and fading Spencer Rattler, who has a very, very low fantasy score compared to how he's done so far this season. Leaning into the squares on this one. We'll talk about the Darnold one here in a moment, but fading that Rattler fantasy score, seeing this total dropping from 43.5 to 41.5 is a great sign. I would not be shocked if the Saints cover this game, to be honest with you. But again, that helps me lean the under as well. When people are starting to lean into the Seattle team, thinking, oh, they got their feet under them. They're coming off that big-time win against the Steelers. They put up a 31 piece. Sam Darnold getting some chemistry going with Cooper Kupp. No. Sam Darnold is a bad QB, and you're going to be reminded that this weekend against the Saints team that nobody is thinking has a fucking chance in this game. I lean the dog, and I love the under in this one. And that Saints defense is going to show up and do enough. And we know Seattle's defense is good. I'll be starting them once again in a fantasy league. They might keep the Saints off the fucking boards, off the scoreboards, at least in the first half of this game. I would not be surprised. Seattle's defense, I could certainly buy stock into, but their offense, we want to fade after their one good performance, maybe this entire season.
Yep. I'm in on that. I like that. Take you to a divisional game with everybody's new favorite shiny toy, the Chargers, against the team who looked dog shit last week because they gave up over 300 yards to Daniel Jones. I think you get a big-time bounce back from the Broncos defense, and I honestly think they win this game, and I think it's going to be rather low-scoring, a field goal fest. It's like a classic big game in division like you would expect 2 really good defenses to be, contrary to what we've seen for, I guess, a week out of each of the teams. You saw a pretty high-flying game against the Chiefs from the Chargers week 1, and then last week you can kind of count the Broncos game as that. I think they had like 57 points, I think the total was, but it feels like a football gods game to me too. After the way the Broncos lost last week's game, I feel like their defense locks in and gets maybe a couple more fortunate bounces, but regardless, I think the matchup is so much better, and I think they go in, get a win, dominate with their defense.
Yep. Banisk, I think the Saints might not score in the first half, and they might cover. That's why I like the under in the game. See how it turns out. Okay? W under here in Denver and LA. Would love to fade that Chargers offense, Jovan. Would love to fade them. They might be a little fat, happy, complacent in this spot. And let's back that Denver defense to turn it up. Yep. But FedEx Milk said it's the Chargers season opener. They're scoring at least 24, and he's a fan of the team. Goods, let's go ahead and wrap it. Let's just go ahead and get to the squad rides. Let's go ahead and just end the NFL previews here real quick. All right. Let's get back to business here that actually matters. Let's talk about an over on the NFL slate here. How about a little team total over for the Browns? Been trying to figure out how to back this Browns team, Jovan. I think this is how I'm going to do it here. Back in the Browns against the defense that everybody's fallen in love with, deservingly so, after they just fucking balled out against the Commanders in their last game. But talk about an ultimate letdown spot for the Packers here. I think the Browns cover this game, but I think this one, unlike the under I just talked about, this one might be a little bit more high scoring than people are expecting. And the Browns are going to put up 17 plus in this game. I believe in Flacco. I believe in Jerry Jeudy. I like Harold Fannin. I think they can run the ball a little bit more here with Judkins and co. I would not be surprised to see the Browns winning this game at some point. And I want to sell high on the Packers here and that defense that everybody's acting like is already Super Bowl bound. Guys, we're 2 weeks into the season. The ultimate fat, happy, complacent spot for the Packers coming off that big-time win against the Commanders and traveling to Cleveland on the road to play a stinky 0-2 squad. Well, that 0-2 squad might pull off an upset here, and I think this is the biggest trap for survivors this weekend. Stay far away from the Packers, and don't be surprised if Joe Flacco makes this game weird after getting embarrassed by his former team, the Ravens, last weekend with a pick, with a fumble. He's locking back in because he knows if he fucks around again and plays like shit, he's probably grabbing pine.
Yeah, I'm certainly in on that. This feels like the most Krabs play of the weekend.
Nasty. Love hearing that. Love hearing that. Yep.
Speaking of Krabs, I hope your Rat Meat team can score some points and give them up too in this game.
Same. I do too.
I like the Raiders, Commanders over. What Mariota does on with that offense is really a big question mark, and I'm definitely taking a gamble on that end. But he's looked composed in the snaps that he's gotten, and especially against this Raiders defense that has shown like they can be conservative at times. Like they're playing cloud coverage a little bit on Justin Herbert in that offense, trying to keep everything in front of him. Like Mariota can dump underneath. He's a veteran. He's done that before, both in other systems and in this offense. So if they want to do that, fine. Like that's not going to work, and they're going to be able to cook some drives. And I think that's how it's going to play out. But Gino, I think, is going to come out and absolutely splooge in this game, which that might be where you start to lose some people in the chat. We're talking about that with waiver wire pickups. I think he might be my Russell Wilson of the week. And to be honest, it really doesn't have to do with anything that he did. It's not like the bounce back spot that I'm in love with, surely, but this is like a game script where Gino fully just gets to say, fuck it, similar to what he did against the Patriots in that game. They're playing, I don't know, one high safety coverage for a lot of that game. You know, they're having not the best time running the football. You're going out on the East Coast on the road as a dog. What else do you have to lose? And for Gino, especially after that dog shit performance last week, you especially have nothing to lose because you're going to be slinging the rock. So after this, I think he's going to put up a masterclass of performance. And the Commies defense has been really good against the run. That's the part that I do kind of buy into, but I think that secondary is about to get nuts this game.
Yep.
And
Last year, Commanders.
I have a feeling there's a defense or special teams touchdown coming from somebody in this game, which would be just fantastic for overs.
Oh, boy. Probably not coming from the Commies defense.
Yeah. I do see a Mariota pick square up there.
Okay. Also, Gene T has just an unbelievable matchup in this game. I know the Commanders' D-line has been better. I know their rush defense has been better this season. Last year, they had the worst rush defense in the NFL, and they got away with it. I don't know how, but they did. They did. They made some changes. You know, Jonathan Allen was terrible last year. They moved on from him. They bring in Preston Smith this week as well, which is a huge veteran addition to that D-line too. So, yeah, maybe it'll just be Geno slicing and dicing that secondary, feeding Brock Bowers. You guys saw what Tucker Kraft did against the Commanders on Thursday Night Football. Imagine what Brock Bowers is going to do this weekend. God damn it. I can already see 100 yards and a touchdown from him. And let's not sleep on Jacoby Myers, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. Go look at his target share. It's incredible. Those guys are going to get fed, and Geno's going to have a day. And Gene T might find some success as well because our D-line has been way too good against the run so far this season. I'm expecting that to regress as well. So, All right, let's move. Let's groove. Dave Martinez burner. I'm not going to give that Joe Smith guy any more time. It's like feeding a homeless person. They just keep on coming back and they live for it. I'm not going to interact with that guy anymore on the feed. He is a loser, and I made his day last night responding to him. So you stay away from those people and you go about your day. Okay, not worth my time. Blowout. This is an Aaron Rodgers legacy game. I've talked about this before. Wouldn't it be something if Aaron Rodgers has just an absolute legacy season before he goes out and retires? Let's not forget this guy is one of the best QBs of our lifetime. Sure, his off the field stuff is annoying. Sure, he's a me guy. Sure, he's got his antics. Sure, he's, a lot of things. A lot of things. But you know what else Aaron Rodgers is, Jovan? The guy's a fucking winner. And the guy was playing on one leg the last couple seasons. And the Steelers are getting absolutely chirped. People for the first time in my lifetime, Jovan, are saying the Steelers defense is quail shit. You know what's about to happen this weekend? TJ Watt is about to win them a football game. You know how I've talked about TJ Watt can win a game himself a time or two during the season? He's fucking goated. He's going to be unbelievable in this game against that mid-Patriots O-line. Good fucking luck, boys. Good luck, Drake May. My goodness. It's all Steelers flipping to a favorite here on the roads. Who wants to back the Steelers? After how bad their defenses looked, Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Everybody hates that guy's guts. Well, I like him, at least on the football field. And he's bouncing back after talking all that shit after that Jets win. Then he goes and loses to Sam Darnold, and they get clapped. You're going to see a completely different Steelers team. And Mike Tomlin, I'm sure, has absolutely laid into these guys this week. After the Caleb Johnson bullshit, after that embarrassing loss, giving up 31 points to Seattle. Well, they just played against a good defense, and now they're going against the Patriots. They'll have much more success. Trust Aaron Rodgers and ride with the Steelers, flipping from a dog to a favorite on the road against this trendy Patriots team.
Oh, yeah. I'll save my thoughts. We'll go on to Chicago.
Yep.
I think this reeks of fake sharp play of the week, which now Cowboys have flipped to a favorite. So I guess maybe by the time we get around Sunday, it's going to be a little less popular of a sharp play now that the Bears are back to dogs. But I think, first of all, like this is going to be a shootout game. And I know a lot of people like this under because I guess there's a little bit of wind in Chicago and systems pop for all those guys that bet like that. But regardless, I don't think if this game even goes under, like it's going to be very far from the total. I think this game's going to be back and forth both ways. We just saw what the Cowboys could do, surely, like in a game that the Giants were involved in. So, like, if you're Ben Johnson, pull everything out for Caleb in this. And this is going to be a back and forth game where you see exactly what he's made of. I don't think that's going to be much, to be honest with you. I don't think it's much. From what we've seen, like with Caleb in this system, feels a little early to be jumping on him, even like in a system like this or a game like this where you're facing a defense that's been quail shit for a lot of different reasons. They can't generate pressure. Like even when they play like their zone coverage, they haven't played a single snap of man. I worry that Caleb is going to continue to struggle heavily against zone coverage like he has this entirety of his career, and especially like the first 2 weeks in the system, which is a big reason why like he started to tail off towards the end of the second half of these games because he keeps getting shown more and more zone from these defenses that are pressuring him, and he freaks out. Once there's nothing there, he can't really wait. He scrambles out of the pocket. And if you do that against this Cowboys defense, you're kind of losing the whole point of having the matchup against them. So I don't think it's going to work out as well as people think for Caleb. I think Dak's going to come on the road here and lay sack just when nobody expects him to after how good he's looked so far this year. And you should probably be 2-0 by now if his receivers catch a ball. I think this is a Cowboys lay sack game when everybody counts him out, which I think there was one of those last year against the Panthers, maybe with Cooper. Feels like that.
Okay. 2 words, chat. Triple reverse fade. Sound the fucking alarms. Triple reverse fade for the weekend here. Cowboys on the ML, guys. The Bears look so sharp that all the squares are moving from the Cowboys to the Bears that it's actually fake sharp there, and we flip it back a third time, and we're taking the Cowboys. Sound the alarms. Sound the alarms. 3-0 on triple reverse fade so far this season. Let's go 4-0. Let's go 4-0. Let's make it 4. Sound those alarms, Goodsey. Triple reverse fade. 2 words. Skywalker. Triple reverse alert. Triple reverse alert. Yep. Get involved. Love this play from you, Jovan. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's talk about some upset alerts. The Rams are winning this game. The NFL, they can't keep handing the Eagles wins. People are on to them. The handout wins are over. Okay, the refs got emailed all this week. They said, guys, you can't just let the Eagles win every fucking weekend in the most boring fashion and let them cheat and do that stupid tush push that nobody likes seeing and do these false starts. They're going to call a tight whistle this weekend. They might call an extra tight whistle just in the favor here of the Rams. And the Matt Stafford MVP journey of the Big 2-5 is still very much on. Jovan, he's facing a terrible defense, a terrible secondary this weekend. Maybe their D-line still has a couple guys. Sure. Okay. But Matt Stafford has Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. What are those two gents going to do against his Eagles secondary? My goodness. My goodness. They might muck. And has anything felt a little bit off about Jalen Hurts this season so far? It's looked a little bit off to me. Maybe he's losing some of that aura. Maybe he's not as locked in after winning the Super Bowl. I don't blame him, right? I don't blame him. You got this team out here trading for backup running backs when they have the best running back in the NFL instead of trading for cornerbacks. What are the Eagles building over there? And I know I have not had success fading the Eagles so far this season, guys. I get it. But I cannot resist going back to the well. I think we're getting one here, and I think the NFL is hip. They're not going to give the Eagles a handout win this week. They already did last week against the Chiefs. They probably checked the bet splits last week and saw the Chiefs were getting Nukenheimer from the sharps and the squares. This weekend, they can't. They can't afford it. People are onto them. And yeah, the emails are already in the refs' inboxes here. They got to start calling some false starts for the tush push and stop giving them handout first downs, handout touchdowns. And you're going to see the Eagles struggle against one of the most underrated defenses in the NFL this season, in the Rams. A bright spot for this team that's always had a great offense, has the best play caller in the NFL voted by the coaches in Sean McVay. It's going to be a Sean McVay masterclass on the road, and Matt Stafford's going to prove once again he's one of the best deep ball throwers in NFL history. Back the Rams, take the points, but I think they win this game outright.
Yeah, revenge game for last year in the playoffs too, which as much as I was rooting for the Eagles for Super Bowl bet purposes and I bet on them in that game, they had no business winning that game. Not a single lick of business in the world. Stafford should have won that game. As much as I hate to say it.
Yes, he should have. He's getting his lick back. Yep.
Need that.
All right.
So are the Texans. After a god-awful showing from the offense on Monday Night Football, god-awful showing from the first 2 weeks. But now, we talked about it with all the same Nico Collins bullshit and everything. Could you ask for two worse matchups out of maybe you could pick 4 or 5 teams out of the entire NFL for this offense that's struggling with play calling right now, CJ Stroud, which is struggling with throwing the football in the fucking pocket and making his offensive line, who is already bad, look a lot worse than they are. Could you ask for like 2 harder matchups again out of like 4 or 5 teams than the Bucs, who Todd Bowles has that defensive line looking right, even though they're a little injured right now, but he also sends the house more than almost anybody in the NFL. And the Rams, who don't even need to send the house because that front 7 is fucking vicious. Could you ask for 2 worse matchups than that for CJ Stroud? No, I don't think you could. So now after that, you get a significantly easier matchup, which these games are always seem to be crazy in the CJ Stroud times, especially like with back and forth offense. I think this is the perfect get right spot for CJ Stroud and that offense, regardless of what you think about the Jags, which I would love to have more confidence in the Jags, but something seems a little off. I don't know if it's just Liam Cohn, just a weird guy. And I don't know if he necessarily meshes with that locker room, but like Brian Thomas is kind of hurt. Like he's probably going to bounce back. Trevor Lawrence isn't on the same page with Liam Cohn. That's something that I don't know if I want to catch the falling knife with for a while until they show me something. And getting a Texas team that's pissed off and you have like, again, a much better matchup in the first 2 weeks, I'll buy in, especially in Jacksonville. Go on the road and get it done.
Yeah, I like it. I loved it more when they flipped to a favorite. Now they're back to a dog, but it is what it is. It is what it is. They probably should be a dog the way they've looked this season. So who wants to back Stroud after all the sharps and the squares collabed last week and everybody got fucking burnt? Nobody's going to want to bet on this weekend. Yeah. Could be the perfect time to jump right back in.
And I'll say this. Trent, if you want to splooge, go ahead and look at Nico Collins' history. You can go on props.cash and do your actual lab work. Go look at his history against the Jags.
Ooh. Could be a big old Nico game, huh? Yeah. Let's hope. Chat's talking about they're trying to guess the meat plays here for the NFL. They're saying, is it going to be the Panthers? Is Jovan going to be on the Steelers? Am I going to be on the Titans? All good guesses. And the coin toss, Starts at 2 p.m. Eastern today, guys. Less than 20 minutes live on this same channel. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Action-packed Friday for you guys. All right, you're not getting any work done anyways. It's a Friday. Give me a break. Stick around. Stay here. We got the coin toss starting up here in about 15 minutes. Okay? Nico, BTJ, Legacy Games. I agree. This could be a sneaky over as well. Sneaky over as well. All right, Jovan. It's time. Let's pivot. Let's talk about our meat on tape plays for the weekend. Jovan. No, I'm not just taking this because Tyrod Taylor's a Hokie. Although I'd love to sit up here and say I was. I'm sorry I have to do it. I know your Bucs are winning the Super Bowl. I don't disagree. But they might lose this game. Tell me why the Jets moved from plus 8.5 to plus 6.5 with Tyrod Taylor getting announced in for Justin Fields. Tell me why.
I can tell you why.
Why?
Because we got the fucking practice squad playing.
A lot of Bucs injuries as well. Do you think the average bettor knows that? You think they're tapped into linemen hurt or, people on defense hurt? I don't think so.
Like Bookit and Godwin hurt. They're probably in on.
That one's been hurt. Big Buka, sure. Give you that one. Yeah. Big Buka, sure. Okay. Baker coming off that unbelievable win where he dropped sack on everybody. All 8 billion people he dropped sack on. Unbelievable performance. Baker's him. He's walking up to the media mic after the game. The guy can barely walk. And all he does is say one word. He goes, yes. Yes. Baker's feeling himself right now, as he should, Jovan. He's fucking goated. He's goated. I love JD5. If there was a second QB I could have on my team leading the charge, it'd be blue-collar Baker. Number 2. Yep. I swear to God. If JD5 didn't exist, I'd be begging for a QB with the moxie, with the grit, with the lunch pail mentality that Baker Mayfield has. Certainly. But is there a bigger letdown spot in the NFL this weekend than the backup QB Jets against the 2-0 Bucs who are looking Super Bowl bound? They're finally starting to get some respect around these parts. I don't know if there is. Tyrod Taylor, great story. The guy's played on a bunch of teams. He's played for 15 years. What a guy. He's got moxie. You got fucking guys on the Bucs saying he might be a little too cool. He might be aura farming out there. Sure. And you know what? His play has not been great. The last couple of years, he's gone in and played games and filled in as a backup on the Giants, on the Jets. He has not been sharp. Well, against a very banged-up Bucs defense in the ultimate fat, happy, and complacent spot this weekend in the NFL, I am legally obligated to lock in the Jets here, moving from plus 8.5 to plus 6.5 with a 40-year-old QB against the hottest, best team right now in the NFL. Sure, they're banged up. I don't think the common bettor cares about that or even knows. I'm locking in the dog here. Who wants to bet on the Jets after they were the fake sharp POD last weekend and got obliterated by the Bills? Obliterated. Nobody. Has to be done. I love your Bucs. Jovan, you're the fucking man. I'm jealous of your team, the way they're looking this year, the way they're moving and grooving. But they're going to have some trouble this weekend.
No, they probably will. I'll say
they're going to have some trouble this weekend.
As a fan brain immediately tells me we're losing this game. Which
because
might
the
be
fan, you're right. The fan knows about the injuries.
Not even that, but this game feels identical to, I think you were also on this, but the Broncos last year. After the Bucs, I forget what game was before this, but they're riding a little high. I think they might have beaten the Eagles right before this. They're riding a little high, came back home, and the Broncos, I think, were 7.5 point, 8.5 point dogs. They beat the shit out of them.
Yep.
Like, this game does feel eerily similar. The betting brain in me tells me the Bucs score 30 points, so you better hope the Jets can score.
Okay. Yeah, let's hope that the fan pulse stays true in this game, respectfully.
Yeah, would be nice.
Let's hope.
Beat the Lions on the road. That's what it was.
Okay. WTM sharp. Dialed in. All right, let's hear this Steelers sell job.
Yeah, I don't need to rehash too much of it from you because you talked a lot about it. But the Steelers, after everybody's out on them, horrific defensive performance last week and really for the first 2 weeks. But I think there were two pretty poor matchups for them, especially last week, because the run defense has been in shambles. And what do you know? You're getting a Kubiak team who has schemed well against your defensive coordinator as long as he's been in the league and has had some experience with a defense like this. So he had his way with them. And that also helped the play action game where Sam Darnold, I think, threw for 300 fucking yards. And I think he only had one touchdown. So good for Goat Whales. But now you get to play a Patriots team. You think they want to dominate on the round, Krabs? With Ramondre.
I mean, they might try, but they're going to have one hell of a time.
If they try, that's a shit fucking game plan.
Yeah.
A garbage game plan. And I think they're going to try like that for a little bit before they realize that's going to put Drake May in a lot of third or even like second and long, third and long, obvious passing situations where that's where you get to lock in as a defense and have your little bounce back if you're Mike Tomlin. And you think about this game, like, it's Mike Tomlin versus like Vrabel. This is like by name a defensive game. And obviously the Tomlin defense hasn't been good to start the year. I think they'll eventually get there. And the Vrabel defense, they just had a game against the Dolphins where they gave up a billion points. That game soared over. And not only that, but they were the kind of on the opposite side of the Steelers with, and not that it wasn't their own fault. Steelers were on like the this is football unlucky box with the Caleb Johnson whole thing. The Patriots won because of a kick return touchdown after giving a punt return touchdown up themselves. So football gods type game. But I also think that the defense is going to lock in, and this is where you get the bounce back that all the Steelers fans said was going to happen last week. And they go on the road in a place where they've been fucking owned for the last fucking decade, which obviously a lot of that has to do with Tom Brady. But now you go unlock some demons, and they're beating Drake May in Foxborough, sending a message.
Yep. Could not agree more. Consensus quake here. Love the Steelers, love Aaron Rodgers, and love the Steelers defense. It's been good every fucking year of my life besides the first 2 games of the season. Guys, this is when you buy in. And Mike's going to have his fucking way with it. He is.
Mike is going to have his way.
Mike Tomlin's literally going to have his way with it this weekend up there in New England. Watch out.
Also, sneaky.
Watch out.
Sneaky nugget that I completely forgot. Going back to the other game. Todd Bowles. Revenge game.
That should go well.
You better hope. You better hope he's got nothing in the bag, Krabs. That's all I'm saying.
That should go well. See, you can't chirp Todd Bowles and then say shit like that.
No. Let me make this clear because I've been having the same conversations with Dave because he's sending me the clips of the crazy blitzes he's sending. Todd Bowles makes shit adjustments. That is why I've been on his ass for years. This defense that he has right now is a Todd Bowles defense, so he doesn't have to make as many adjustments. Obviously, they're hurt right now, so he's probably going to have to make some, but this is the best he's done with personnel, which is why I was in on them to start the year. We'll see what happens health-wise, but I'm not as much a Todd Bowles guy, but I am a this team guy. But we'll see what he has in the bag for Tyrod against his former team that he sneaky hates.
Okay. Yeah. Just know that 9 out of 10 fans of their teams would kill to have Todd Bowles be their head coach.
I know. Very fair.
They'd kill. You have it pretty good.
I do.
You have it pretty good. All right, let's move. Let's talk about these prize pick squares very quickly. We got Tyler Johnson coming in, resubbing. He says, let's have a weekend. Why not us, Tyler? Why not us?
Go, Tyler.
W's. All right, real quick. Jordan Love ain't passing 2. He ain't passing 2. Love the Browns. I think they hang around this game. I think they cover. And again, the biggest shoe-in of this fucking NFL season and last season has been their fucking stud running back. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. The Packers running back. Josh Jacobs, obviously. Bonehead move there for me. The guy scores a touchdown every fucking week. And you know what? That's probably not going to change. I'm not even crazy enough to fade that shit. It's a goblin once again on prize picks this weekend. He's probably running one in again like he does every fucking game because LaFleur just loves handing that guy the rock a million times. He does. And in a sketchy spot, once that Brown secondary, once Denzel Ward gets all in the fucking mitts of Golden, of Dobbs, a banged up Kraft, my goodness. That smells like LaFleur panic button. Hand the ball off to your stud running back 30 times and escape with a 2-point win. That's what that sounds like to me. Guys, one of the more popular squares on prize picks this weekend already is Jordan Love more than 1.5 passing touchdowns after back-to-back green performances. This is the time to fade. Love the Browns this weekend. Fade Jordan Love. If the Packers even score 2 touchdowns in this game, one of them is going to be from their stud RB.
He does.
Right? Yeah, Denzel Ward deserves his respects. He does. One of the best corners in the NFL. And then Sam Darnold, guys, you know I'm the biggest Sam Darnold hater of all time, system QB. After they had a really good game last week, legally obligated to fade Sam Darnold and take this less than after it was very green last week. And after I love the under in this game, and I think this game can be extremely weird and extremely low scoring. And after Kenneth Walker had a good game for the first time in his fucking career last week, maybe they go back to him again. And maybe he does have a little bit of success again because Charbonnet might not even play. So fade Sam Darnold this weekend in a game I love the under in. It's that simple, folks.
Yep. Another revenge game there. Kubiak.
Yep.
So
yeah.
To run all over him.
Great call. Great call. All right, what do you got?
Favorite swear of the weekend. Mike Gesicki. 19 and a half yards.
Wow.
I can give you all the numbers. Essentially this, since we're running short on time. Jake Browning, when he's been in this offense, go take a look at what he targets as far as like the short options in the game, because he will go short. The tight ends, they had, I think, 4 of them, especially in this matchup when they played the Vikings, I think 2 years ago. The tight ends feasted. All of them had their yards. And it was a little different of a room. You didn't have like a yak guy like Gesicki. It was a lot of dump offs to him. And you know the Vikings are going to bring the house. They're going to blitz him a shit ton, put him under a lot of pressure. You need a short option. And when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they have to respect the deep threat that you have. He is going to grub in this game. I am legitimately starting Mike Gesicki over multiple good tight ends in my fantasy leagues where I've picked him up. I think he's going to bust. I think the touchdown upside's there. I'm taking that too. I think he's going to have a lot of catches. I'm starting him. He's getting 20 yards. Then Rachaad White. I think now we're officially at Bucks are starting 0 starting linemen at the very least in the spots that they're actually playing. They have 2 linemen in different spots, and the 3 others are backups. The one reason Rachaad White still plays a little bit is because of his receiving acumen and because he's a great pass blocker. So I think not only is there going to be increased snap share for him, period, in this game, but I think there's also going to be some times, especially with Egbuka banked up. Who knows if he's going to play? He's taking a lot of the screen work for them. I think there's going to be times when Rachaad and Bucky are both in the game more than there has been really for the past year and a half. And I think Rachaad might even be in the slot sometimes to take those underneath screens if Egbuka is not able to go. So I think you're going to have to use Rachaad White a lot in this game. Like the pass blocking doesn't directly help his receiving yards, of course, but I think that's a reason why he's going to have to stay in the game a lot. And I think we don't have really too many other underneath options to be taking if you're the Bucs offense. And I think he's going to be the recipient of that.
Yep. Yeah, guys, hold those fantasy questions for later today. I'm going to fire up another TikTok live, and hopefully I don't get fucking banned again around 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. I'll answer all your fantasy questions. But real quick, though, start Gino, Godsynth, and probably don't play Egbuka this weekend if you have another option, even if he plays. Agreed?
Love the dichotomy between crabby unders and my wild ass overs.
Facts. It's facts.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time. Hey, meat sheets, previews have been very good so far this season. Let's keep it that way. Knock on woods. Let's keep it that way. All right, let's stay hot. I'm tracking all those this season. We're up. All right, get ready for those meat sheets this weekend, guys. We're probably going to have to do weekend squad ride plays on the feed. We don't have time to do those today. It's okay. That's okay. But we do have time to lock in right now a squad ride for tonight. Jovan, are you ready?
I'm ready, Krabs.
Goots, run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. Dubs. All right, Jovan. Let's lock in here, my man. If we got to take baseball, we got to take baseball. I really want that Marlins Rangers first 5 under in here.
Say less.
I really, really do. Are we putting your Phillies team total in here?
Yes, it's my favorite play.
Has to be done. Jovan loves giving me a heart attack with taking overs. That's how you know I fucking trust him, man. The only overs I take are Jovan over. So that should be a sign of respect. Okay?
Yep.
Should be a sign of respect. We got those 2 plays. Is there anything else we have to take? How confident are you in Iowa? Very curious.
Pretty confident, but I'm honestly more confident in the Cubs.
Dude. Can we go 2 plays, 2 winners then?
Yes.
Any qualms?
No qualms.
Promise?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go 2 plays, 2 winners, 2 minutes, Goots. 2 plays, 2 winners, 2 minutes, Goots. I'm sure the Cubs is a winner. I'm just scared. Looking at those Lodolo squares. I'm scared. It's my fault. If that play ends up hitting, that's on me. But I like these 2 options as well, folks. Get involved. 2 plays, 2 winners. You got my first 5 under 4.5. in Miami and Texas. Go look at those starting pitcher squares and tell me they're not going to go out there and fucking shove today. And we got the Phillies team total over, fading that Ryan Nelson earned runs allowed square as well. Back in the Phillies, who just got Shugs bageled in their last game against the Dodgers. Staying out there on the West Coast. Back at some runs from the Phillies bats. Looks like it's going to be the Phillies team total over 4.5. Sure. W's, get those votes in. Hurry up. Go. Get involved. Couple things, guys. Going to do a TikTok live 4 p.m. Eastern after the coin toss to go over all your fantasy questions. Be there, be square. Clear those schedules. Okay? Number 2, stick around for the coin toss right after this. I cannot wait to watch the coin toss live at 2 p.m. Eastern here, starting up in 1 minute on Twitch and YouTube. I cannot wait to see Trent in a fucking dress. Are you kidding me? What the hell was he thinking, man? Sometimes it really be your own actions. So, W Friday, guys. Let's have a fucking day. Like Alex F is saying, we are locked. Opinions on the Malik Washington play? Yeah, you guys got screwed on that. You guys got screwed on that one. That was a pass.
Yeah.
That was a pass. That sucked. And shout out Malik Washington. He's sitting on my dynasty bench, and he's starting to come to fruition. He's starting to do some stuff.
The number 2 after Tyreek leaves.
Yeah. So I should keep him then, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep him. All right. W's. Appreciate you guys. Get those votes in. It's going to be the Phillies team total over 4.5. W Smitty coming in with a follow. WBTL today, guys. WBTL today, guys. You better spam those dresses in the chat. BTL Fridays are the best days, man. Great episode. Great show. Hope you guys tail. Look out for those meat sheets this weekend and these squad ride polls on X. And we'll catch you guys on Monday. Same time, same place. We'll be.